You are your abyss, your knowledge. You are the Word. You are the Hokadesh. You don't exist in flesh. You had to birth a flesh vessel, and you did that through the waters, as we're all birthed through the waters, through our mom, not our mother. Our mother is our correction. Thank you, Father. We'll see if anybody has any knowledge of who you are. You said, my people shall perish for lack of abyss. That's hell. So I don't know if I know anybody who knows where hell's at or what hell is. So I'll try to come in here and have a conversation and see if most people think they die and they go to hell. Hell is no knowledge. So you are knowledge. Your knowledge. You're not. You're the Word. Why do they think you're some dude with a beard? They ripped the beard out of your son's face. He paid with beard blood. The bride price for his bride. He is the bridegroom. There'll be a wedding. He divorced his bride because she cheated on his word, the marriage that they had. So, and they cheated on the law, the Torah, remember? They went after gods in the sky. That's very perverted. Sun worship, Baal worship is the god of three genders. Their God has three genders in one God. What's wrong with them, Father? Why did you make them so lack of knowledge? Oh, that's hell, right? My people shall perish from lack of knowledge. So perish, that's where you, that's your mind, the empty space in one's head, because we're equally yoked, a man or a woman. So kind of like springs. Snowman has no knowledge. Israel is not a nation. So Israel was Jacob, who he loved. So it's not a place against the Mediterranean. It used to be the Great Sea. That's not Israel that it mentions in Revelation. So Israel is an abomination. So are all these other nations that go outside their borders. So he said, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So, or gay is a Greek word. People don't speak any Greek, nor they speak any Hebrew. Remember, he was out of Judea. Yah, not J. There is no J, so there is no Jew. No Jesus, no Lucifer, no luck, no free will, no aliens, no Lord, no Christ. These are all words never ever once written in the Old or New Testament. So it's not 2026. So we'll see if anybody has any knowledge of what the hell they're talking about. Or if I feel like and I might never meet anybody who knows what the hell they're talking about. Wake up every day and tell myself, everybody's evil. You may never meet somebody that's in the narrow way. Father's bride is Orligas. If you study the old Jewish book written in Greek, if you want to use the letter J, right? There's no J in the 12th century. So it says that only Father knows. Nobody knows the day or the hour because you guys are a bunch of perverted lunatics who worship calendar worship. You can't go to the calendar either. You're not going to the sky. Get away from me. So you can disagree with certain politics. There's no politics. Shut the up. You're an idiot. No, Israel's an abomination that blows up other countries with their 7 fronts. Satan, Yahoo. You don't know anything about scripture. You know that? Israel was a man. His name was Jacob. There's no thing as Israel. Get out of here. Leave. I don't be less anybody. Go eat your goyim slop. Get away from me. You eat too much unclean truths. I don't cast my pearls in the mud, so get away from me. You're a viper. So Israel is an abomination, just like the USA, which is a corporation. Leave. You're making an ass of yourself. Go. I don't sup with vipers. See? Father, you won't send me to anybody who has any knowledge. Father is spirit. Father didn't exist in flesh. So, you know what I'm saying? You guys are idiots. Get out of here. You're lost. You're out of here. Goodbye. Let's see who else is in here. You're out of here. Let's kick everybody. Make sure everybody. I don't want anybody in here that doesn't have any knowledge. Hell's no knowledge, right? Not below your feet. Let's get these people out of here. What's this person? Tell me to be less. Get out of here. Get off your knees. I know what I've been licked. All right, there we go. Nobody's below me, all right? Yeah, you can. Below me. Remember all that nonsense? So if you can't make any sense in here, like American, oh, wait, you American, it doesn't make any sense. Remember, not a single penny, so be quiet. If you can't put anything that's worth a crap, then don't put it in here. I won't have it. This is probably the most heavily moderated channel on the worldwide tube. 2 tubes spitting snake oil at you, huh? Watch out, they'll drain you dry like a vampire. Fangs. Or fill you full of venom. Snake oil! Remember you was a snake before you let me in, then he let Joe Biden. Oh, did you get the Biden? So we were talking about their transgender God. Father doesn't have flesh, nor does Father have breast. So their God has breast. For Christ's sake. Is Christ a pagan term? Why do you say Christ? It doesn't say Christ in the Old or New Testament. Father's the Word, and he said don't add. Remember, the Word became flesh. Hokadesh he had a birth of flesh vessel. Through the amniotic fluid, you all came through the water through your mother's birth. No, your mom. Your mother's not your mom. Honor thy father. That's not your dad. If your dad's a Jezebel, do not sup with vipers. Depart from him. Do not partake. Come out of her. I mean, you don't ever read the word, do you? So we'll see if today I could ever find anybody that can. I know and never go my whole life and never meet anybody who actually knows what hell is. So the beautiful thing, he said, I am the Aletheia. Truth, not a lie. He doesn't want you to marry truth to a lie. It's still a lie. 99 truths and a lie, still a lie, correct? 99 lies and the truth's still a lie. So sure feels like everybody in and around me is already in hell. Are you in hell? Prove to me you're not in hell. You don't have to prove anything. Just leave. I don't care. Bye. Bye. Thanks. You watch Mr. Global? You live on a ball? Put a 1 in the chat if you live on a ball. Or a block. Do you live on a block or a ball? What shape? Since you guys all like to talk about shapes all the time. Like a bunch of kids, Sesame Street. Remember? 1 bat. They like to drain you dry like a vampire. So, vampism. Crackers and grape juice ritual. They do their Catholicism, Satanism. The deadly headwind that was healed in scriptures. So, what do they call him? The Masse, eating the flesh of the sun god, Baphomet, the one that has breasts, 3 genders. The Christ, the Masse, Christ Mass, Jesus, that's what they call them. Their satanic ritual of the birth in the middle of the winter in the manger. So their Jesus has mange. Why does their Jesus have mange? Because he has sex with beast and man and woman. It's a bestiality, Jesus. So don't be offended. There's no J in the 12th century, so there was no Jesus. Get away from me. You talk like a dragon with your forked tongue, like Leviathan in the garden. You're crooked. Like a thief, he said he would come in the night. I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. Do you have a crown? Remember, they put a crown of thorns upon his head. He has the key to knowledge. Father is knowledge. Father's not in the sky. Father's inside. Father is knowledge. Let no one take your crown. Father is not flesh. He had to birth a flesh vessel. That is Hamashiach, Shiloh, the one who will come back and pick up what he bought because he paid with blood. So, blood. Beard blood he paid with. They ripped his beard out of his face. So, Father doesn't have a beard. Father doesn't have flesh. You're an idiot. Get away from me. These people are lost in space. There's no such thing as space. You can get out of my space. You smell like an Android computer or Apple. Take a bite out of that. Then puff on that, you magic dragon. Lived by the sea. That was Jacob, who he called Israel, not some. There's no place Israel. This is the world I live in. There is no Israel. There is no J, so there is no Jew. So get away from me. And there is no Jesus. Lucifer, that was never written in the Old or New Testament. Who the hell is Lucifer? That's like the Easter bunny. That's the sex goddess Semiramis. Ishtar, star worship, worshiping stars. Baal worship, sun. That's sun worship. The sun god, Jesus Christ, birthed in the middle of the winter on December 25th, celebrated for thousands of years. Or you got to be lost in your own head, right? Yep, hell, no knowledge. It's not below your feet. Hell's right here. Heaven's right here. My two witnesses. So you can leave. I don't want to agree with you. I 100% define every word that I speak. Father said, don't pervert. He used the word, don't pervert my word. So if you're a pervert, you're out of here. He didn't like PDF files. We got a whole country run by PDF files, remember? Look at the Lego memes. We're getting memed to death. And not imagine, we're getting 86'd by Lego memes. Seashells and people are going to jail, huh? They're all on the same team. Remember? Two cheeks to the same hole, two wings to the same dragon. Yeah, right. Vulture, they'd have picked your bones dry. Down to the marrow. Remember, he cuts like a knife. People are lost in space. Remember, where the hell does it say space? Space isn't above your head. Space isn't below your feet. Get out of my space. How about that? 0101. You speak like a non-player character. No skin in the game. Remember, wrestle not against flesh. Father, you ever send me anybody that's not in hell already? People don't know what hell is. They will never define a single word that comes out of their face. A bunch of translators live in a world, a bunch of trannies. So, unfruitful works of darkness, remember? So, you'll know them by their fruit. So, a bunch of fruitcakes. Remember, they do their celebration of their transgender Jesus. There is no J. So, it didn't exist in Rome. You can get out of here. Rome, planet means wander. Wander on out of here. Planet. People think they live on a planet. What the hell is wrong with you? Remember, hell's not below your feet. Hell's knowledge. Well, Father's knowledge. Hell's no knowledge. That's the definition of knowledge, so. Not you. Get out and call me your brother. There's my two witnesses once again. Somebody put some knowledge in here or you're out of here. If you put anything that's not worth a crap, I'll moderate you out of here. I don't want you in here. Leave. I don't hang out with vipers. You smell like a bunch of crooked serpents. A den of vipers. You're not here. He tells us not to sup with vipers. Remember? Like at a table, they would lay. You're not coming in here. This is a house. It's a ministry. It's not trying to get a YouTube button or something. You can get out of here. Viper. YouTube, get it? 2 tubes. You know I was a snake before you let me in. Then he let Joe Biden in. That's too many people got that sticker. Standing line, It's down in the X. Everybody forgot, oh, push the buggy down this way or you'll get the buggy. The beer bug, the corona crap, remember? I come quickly, let no one take your crown, like on Revelation 3:11. On March 11th, he declared the crown virus, right? The corona. Oh, gee, let's just go ahead and put on the face diaper. Remember, it's a veil. It's called veil. Apocalypse, pastor apocalypse. To lift the veil is revelation. So it's the same definition. So nobody defines anything. That's why they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Remember, hell is right here. Heaven is right here. Heaven's not here. Planet, no, earth is the rule. Earth, you don't live on earth. So get away from me. It's not 2026. You're all lost in space. Get away from me. Oh, you supposedly spinning on a ball, corkscrewing, doing that Masonic third rock from the sun, like 33, vertebrae, like 33 years old when, they killed him and hung him from a tree. Yeah. Third rock from the sun in the third dimension, corkscrewing, and that Hebrew word is pervert, froward in Hebrew. It means to pervert. I apologize. Speak definition. I don't know. Words don't matter. Definition is everything. Because if you don't know what the definition of the words you speak, you don't know what you're talking about. Like this idiot, Captain Corpse. There was no J in the 12th century. You're a satanic occultist. Jesus is Satan, 100% birthed on December 25th, celebrated for thousands of years. Christ, there was no J in the 12th century. So get out of here, swine, ball, spinning on a ball. Remember, you're corkscrewing and third rock from the sun and the third dimension, spinning on a ball through time and space. You're already in space. Haven't you even looked at the heliocentric modelers? Yeah, be less. Get out of here, Captain. You're a Satanist. Nobody's be less under this covenant. Remember? Pride above. Low, you're an idiot. Get away from me. So, all right, you're out. You can hold your breath for 3 days. I don't need to hear that crap. God bless. God is a title. Get away from me. You're a Satanist. All right, brothers, sisters that are in the narrow way. Let's see if there's anybody in here in this channel. I don't know if any of you. I already told you what the definition of hell is. So most of you are already there. Don't worry about having to go to hell. Nobody's ever, died and gone to hell because Father doesn't come back. Shiloh, the one, remember, he sends his son to go where? Yeah, where's returned to where Father's at. He's seated at the right hand of Father. You don't ever, in Jesus' name. Okay, bye. You're an idiot. Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman! Remember that cartoon? This guy's spun on a ball. So, just leave now. You're not going to get anywhere. You don't need to stay in here. Don't even subscribe to the channel. It's not worth your time. You're just not. This isn't some fake. He said, "Where there are 2 or 3 gathered in my agape." Shem. Don't say name because there is no name. It doesn't say name. You don't know how to use that word properly. Like you don't know how to use the word believe properly. Don't ever say the word believe. You can't believe in Bigfoot or Chewbacca, Jesus, whatever your hairy Esau, Jesus, whatever your God or alien is a word. It is a word. It doesn't exist in a physical matter, place, or space. There is, alien means foreign. That's a definition. So once again, if you don't speak the definition of the words you speak, you speak a dead language. People come in here and tell me good morning. Why did somebody die? Remember, don't you ever read the book of Ecclesiastes? Go read 7:1. Tell me what it says about mourning and death. You're an idiot. Idiot, you don't define. Somebody in here give me the definition of the word idiot. Toss, okay? Same word as ignoramus. So probably all 10 of you are idiots. I'm not insulting you. If you're insulted by the word idiot, you are an idiot. Just give me the definition. You'll realize you're already there. Like hell, you're already there. People don't die and go to hell. Nobody's been judged. Remember the final trump? Remember the trump? Remember? This is the shofar. They blow the ram's horn. Has the 7th shofar sounded, the scrolls. Remember, the sky will roll. Hit to meet him in the sky, and that's not there, you idiots. So you might, if you want to learn something and write it down, get a piece of paper. I'll be more than what he said. Call no man teacher. There is no prophecy. Remember, call no man a false. Trying to get you to look over here, and then bam, there's a scorpizzo. So. Goodbye, idiot. Talking about Second Amendment items. Redress grievances is what we're talking about right now. First Amendment comes first. Remember, Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the exercise of free speech. I'm a veteran, so what the hell are you talking about? You're going to get drafted. Get away from me. You probably are. You're going to get drafted. Like, remember, beer bug, like Corona beer? No. Look at the head on that. Don't talk about things that don't matter right now, or get out of here. Do you like D's nuts? How about that? Take these two, the man's nuts, and grab them, get him out of here. Below me, be less. Yeah, get off your knees. I know what I've been licked. Words matter. Father is the word. So don't speak words in here that don't matter. It's mind over matter. I don't mind and you don't matter. Remember, alien doesn't take up matter. It's a word. That is Hokadesh. Father is the word. Ghost. What the hell are ghosts? Father is ghost. You guys are lost. You don't speak any truth. That is the word aletheia. He said, I am the aletheia. So you're supposed to be, only God will ever judge. You're an idiot. Get the hell out of here. It says righteous judgment. Do not condemn them. Father separates the wheat from the chaff. You're gone. Chris, you're an idiot. Get away from me. Define the word hell. Guns talk about something else. I'm not against Second Amendment, but remember, Congress now established no law prohibiting the exercise, free speech of the press, the right to religion. I'm a pastor, and I hate religion. Right to peacefully assemble, the right to form militias, well-regulated. First Amendment comes first, the right to redress grievances, first ballots, and if they don't listen, 86. No, that doesn't mean that means kick them out of a bar. Don't take them to the tree line and unalive them. Remember, First Amendment comes first. Freedom of speech. Second Amendment comes second, right? You're not lost. Yes, you are lost. You're a follower of Christ. You're a Satanist. You are the adversary because it never says Christ in the Old Testament or the New Testament. You're a satanic. You're a Satanist. So, you are. There is no word Christ. That means anointed in oil. I just have the scriptures. This is a 12th century book that was canonized where they defined every single word in the book. Remember, book means Bible. You're an idiot. I have the rejected text sitting right there at the top because I was looking at it. So get away from me. Guns, you're lost. Get away from me. Give a man fish, brothers, sisters, and then give him a fishing pole. And then get away from him. It's righteous judgment is what that's called. Oh, you're not supposed to judge. You sound like an idiot. You never sat down and read any scripture once. God knows what's in my heart. It says the heart is continuously filled with wickedness. There's no J in the 12th century. It's not 2026. So if any of those apply to you, just leave now. I'm not going to even argue with you. He said, my people shall perish for lack of knowledge. You're already there. You made it. Hell is not above your head or below your head. It's right here. So is heaven right here. Keys to knowledge. He's got the key. Remember? Abyss, Revelation 9:11, the king. You don't ever define anything, do you? Like the word angelos, that's the word angel. Don't ever, none of you ever in this chat use the word angel. You don't know what an angel is. You can't use the word. You use it improperly, so you can't use it. Give me the definition of a messenger. Give me the Greek definition in the old Jewish book, Revelation 9:11. So it's written in Greek, right? What is the word angelos? There's the Greek word. Give me the definition of it. What does your lexicon say? See, if you don't study with a lexicon, you're not welcome in here because you speak some other psycho Jesus Babylonian nonsense. There's no J in the 12th century. Here's another thing that people constantly say, Lucifer. Who the hell is Lucifer? Lucifer does that as a word not written in the Old or New Testament. Why are you okay with adding? That's the very last words he left us with. He said not even a jot. Not even a jot. Inner or overstand. No, people understand. You're not below me. You can get off your knees. I know what I've been licked. You can leave now. Remember? Words matter. Father is words, not matter. He said he made a flesh vessel because he didn't exist in matter. That is called Hokadesh, spirit, ghost. Hokadesh. Ruach, pure. Paul, remember, he said the inner man that can't sin. So you're an idiot. In Hawaii, we got our own gods, but Jesus Christ reigns supreme. Only way to get into heaven is through him. Well, heaven is not above your head, okay? I already told you that, okay? Rob, which island are you? In Hawaii. So, the truth doesn't say leave. Yeah, it says, do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Come out of her, my people. Yeah, judge with righteous judgment. You don't ever really, oh, well, okay. I'll only let you say brother because you're an island, okay? Otherwise, I don't let nobody call me brother, okay? But I've lived, on the big island, the real Hawaii. Not to take away from the other islands, but that's where, I'm not a haole, but somebody like me can go and experience what it's like to have to live island style. Aloha is a lifestyle. It's not having a watch, remember? That's rude. So, to look at the time. So, well, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been there. My son was totally afraid of volcanoes. I just decided to just go take him to live on the big island. Why not? That'll get him live. If that don't get you over living on a volcano, just go live on one, right? Hey, yeah. He's all afraid. I'm over in here in Oregon. You got Rainier and Hood and Washington, all this up and down the Cascadia Range. So, hey, he got over it. One of the best experiences that he ever had. You know what I'm saying? So you're correct, Rob. I don't do Jesus because there was no J. I'm a stickler. I remember when I was in the military, obviously Fort Schaffner, that's where Fort Schaffner, that's another island, on military base on the islands. I went there before I ever got to go live. I lived in Mali'i, which was probably the most amazing experience. I didn't live in Mali'i. I lived in Hollywood. No, there is no Jesus Christ. Those terms were never written in the Old or New Testament, man. There was no J. There was no J. You guys are allowing this. And he said, don't add or take away from my word. Father's the word. He's not some deity in the sky. He's right here. This is Father. This is here. He's inside of us. Remember Paul said the inner man that can't sin? So just hear me out. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not trying to change you. That's the word rebuke. Father rebukes a man. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Listen, there is no thing name. There is no name. Don't use that word. You don't know how to use the word name. You don't know how to use the word name. Yeah, 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. He said that, and that's knowledge. Remember, he's got the keys, right? He has the key to the pit. That's in Revelation 9 and 11. So, but the Christ we get into heaven, he lived a perfect life. Okay, just hear me out, Rob. There is no Christ. It doesn't say that. It never says Christ. I have the scriptures right here, brothers and sisters. This is what refine. This is what a refinement does. This is a 12th century book. Okay? You're an idiot. There is no such thing as Jesus Christ. It doesn't say Jesus or it doesn't say Christ. You're mocking Shem is what it says, name. Don't use, I rebuke you in the name Jesus. It doesn't say name. Israel was Jacob, not a country. There are no Jews because there is no J. Be quiet. If you can't be learned, he would call you an ass, the one that is perfect. He is the word. He cannot make a mistake. He will never make a mistake. Okay? He won't. He's perfect. He creates evil. 45 and 7. Read the book of Isaiah. He creates calamity. He creates chaos. No, it's called definition. He said, I am, right? The aletheia, the truth. And you just don't, you want to add jots and yods and tittles in your own thoughts, which is porneia in the Greek. I have the Greek right here. Notice there's no J in Greek. So there's no, Jesus does not exist. That's the Hamashiach hung from a tree, not a cross. Nobody ever hung from crosses. There's another one that might get you little lollipop. Christians are Satanists. They follow the Catholicism, which was the deadly head wound that was outlawed, that was re-brought in by Constantine. When these books were defined, you guys are idiots. Define the word idiot or leave. I won't try to change you. I'll just moderate you. If you use the wrong words in here one more time, I won't have a conversation with you. because I don't sup with vipers. He tells me to judge righteously, not Old Testament. Remember, judge that shall be judged under this covenant. But you put yourself like under the Old Testament, you rip him down from that tree and put yourself under where the wages of sin was death, whether venial or mortal. You don't want to take instruction. That's not for me. That's an ass, somebody you cannot learn. That's what he would call you, brutish. So if you're an ass, I don't hang out with asses or snakes or vipers or low energy swine. I don't even eat pork. And I'm not under any dietary laws. I'm not under some laws of a high priest of Moses or Moses, Aaron, and Levi. Jesus can never be bought. Goodbye, Daniel. You're a lollipop Christian. Enjoy. You're there. So hell is knowledge. No, hell is abyss. A-B-Y-S-S. What's the word B-Y-S-S in the Greek? That's knowledge. My people shall perish for lack of knowledge. Hell, remember the king of Revelation 9:11, they have a king. Don't ever use the word angel because you don't know how to use the word angel. That's angelos. I want to know the definition of an angel, so don't even use it. If you don't know how to use it, then don't say it. That's why he said, I am the aletheia. So you can't speak any aletheia definition. He said, I am the hados. That means I in the narrow, because you don't want to narrow off your translation. Transliteration means no change to the odes. That's letters or definition, aletheia, truth. If you leave definition, you've left the truth, right? Yeah, because you don't speak any truth. Hell is no knowledge. It's not below your feet. Father has not come back. The seventh shofar has not sounded. There's nobody in the sky. Nobody's dead sitting in the sky. They're sitting, waiting in the dirt for millions of years for the final trump. That's Father, not some dude on social media. Get away from me, okay? Would you get the tattoos with the knowledge you got? Jesus can never be mocked and get away with it. Okay, there is no J. Get away from me. I'm just going to moderate you guys idiots. There's no J in the Old or New Testament. I have it right here, brother, sister. So Jesus is a made-up fairy tale. The Hamashiach hung from a tree, not a cross. You can get out of your little box, because when you unfold a box, you get a cross. Nobody ever hung from crosses. You've never even studied Roman torture. Remember, in Rome in the 12th century, there was no J. You speak a dead language, and it was spoken about that babble, your tongues. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. No free will. I think you're just bringing people closer to Christ. Well, there is no Christ. It doesn't say Christ, and it's not for me to bring anybody to Father. Remember our wicked hearts? I wasted, what's that, Sid? 10 years of my life thinking I was going to be a fisher of men, okay? Fisher of men, bringing people to Father. It says, if I didn't call out to their hearts, which is wicked and full of wickedness, it would never stop eternally overflowing. I can tell people never read scripture when they tell me, oh, God knows what's in my heart. God's a title. Shut up. If I didn't call out to their heart, use your Fifth Amendment, your Miranda rights, and be quiet, right? STFU. If I didn't call out to their wicked hearts, it doesn't say that. It said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me since the beginning, millions of years, we Cro-Magnon man, Homo sapien, Denisovan, be quiet, that not one of us would. You're not bringing anybody to Father. Stop wasting my time and don't waste your time. You're not bringing anybody to Father. You're supposed to go out and share the light, put it at the top of your house and let it shine, not pride and rise above others. Pride is a sin. Remember, eye for an eye. He said, vengeance, let that be mine. Remember, turn your cheek. Meek is not weak. You don't read the word at all, and it shows in your tongue. Remember, they spoke an alien tongue. Alien is a word, not anywhere in the sky. Angels don't come from the sky. Heaven is not above your head. Grow up, child. This is an adult-only stream. It's not made for people who go after religion. You don't dwell in temples. Remember, the Most High. If you say God, that's a title, doesn't dwell in what? Temples made by what? Hands. He's inside of us. Father is heaven. You die and go to the skies will roll back like a scroll. Who's nuts now, huh? You know, Father prayed, right, with Noah. They had a relationship. That means face-to-face time, but he still had to build a boat. Believe is an action word. You can't believe in a God. John 3:16, probably the most raped, bastardized, adulterated, defiled word ever. Believe is a verb. Faith is a noun. Don't mourn there, okay? Got to get rid of the M. AM, PM. Wait, why PM? Did somebody die there, Jennifer? We're hard on our people. You ask Jennifer. Seriously, like Nimrod, has got your blood pumping in here? Father is knowledge. Father is knowledge. Father is knowledge. Hell is no knowledge. Heaven's not above your head. Heaven is the ruling class and earth is the ruled. You're ruled by your tongue. Not you, Jennifer. Well, a little bit. See, mourning. Don't mourn. Somebody died. Normally when somebody dies, have a wake. Go read the book of Ecclesiastes 7:1. We're not supposed to celebrate birth. Remember, you're supposed to celebrate death. We're supposed to be happy that people get out of here. So there you go. Don't add the pestilence of his word. I'm just being a stickler because I'm militant. Define. It doesn't say Christ. It doesn't say Lucifer. It doesn't. No, there is no Lucifer. That word does not exist in the Old or New Testament. And I even have the rejected text. It doesn't exist. Stop using words like this word that you don't even know what you're using. The word, remember the rejected text? And I have the accepted text. The 66 that were canonized, these are the 22 because they were not aligned with the aletheia definition truth. Truth is aletheia. You have to have a lexicon. Do you own a lexicon to use your eSword app? Well, there you go. So iron sharpens iron. There you go. That's how it works. So, brothers, sisters, these are rejected texts. The reason they were rejected is because they weren't aligned with the definition. Aletheia truth. And he said if they're not in the same narrow way, throw them out. So the Old Testament is a foreshadow of what is to come in the New. 13, remember in the New, 53 in the Old, these were the ones that were canonized where they took 300 men with dictionaries, which are called a lexicon, Old Testament, and defined every word. And they still ran into words in the 12th century that they had struggled to find the definition. So you got to tell me, since the 12th century, that you got the right definition now? They couldn't find it back then. Shut the f up. Unless you use the definition of every word that's in this book, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hell is not below your feet, brothers and sisters, that are in the narrow way. And he said, don't sup with vipers. Judge righteously. Use these scriptures, not your words, to speak for you. Put that light at the top of your house and let it shine. So I don't want to hear your nonsense. You don't make sense. That's hell. No knowledge. My people shall perish for lack of abyss. Revelation 9:11 says they have a king over them. Okay? I am Pastor Revelation. That is, I've been arrested under the name Revelation, okay? Apocalypse. Whoa! Wake up. Checking out on the prison bus. Pain. You do a little music for you. Maybe you might wake up a little bit. You guys are crazy. You got a playlist of 3, 5, 1,000, 1,500, 5,000 songs, but you can't give me any gospel in here. You don't know what the word demon is. Demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies to others. Goodbye. Don't spread any lies in here or you'll be kicked out of here. No, I give people 2 times and then they're gone. So defined. It doesn't say demon. It says daemonion, and it's replaced in your scripture with the word devil. So cursing, God damn it, is not taking the Lord's name in vain because it doesn't even say Lord. It doesn't even say name. It says Shem. You know what it's doing is celebrating and going to work 9 to 5. Not even trying to make your own power. Not even trying to be organic. If you could be a high-tech redneck, going and feeding the beast system. That's right, telling everybody it's 2026 and letting children be perverted by holidays, giving them candy, celebrating nothing that was ever written in these scriptures like All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve. Remember? Where's that written in scripture? Pagan holiday, the dog with the wolf. That's sodomy worship, Lupercalia. Remember, dog, e-God, dog. Get away from me, child. Isaiah, leave, child. Goodbye. You don't know it's agape. You don't speak any words that are in here. You don't speak any words. Don't sup with vipers. You're not getting anywhere. You're not using the words that are in here. Look, brothers, sisters, this word right here is agape. This word right here is Ruach Hokadesh, okay? Doesn't speak any Greek. So let me ask you, Isaiah, what year is it? When was your Messiah? What was his? And I don't care about his birth date because it's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter. When was your Messiah birth? Shut up. Stop typing in capital letters. I'll moderate you. If you can't answer my question, then you can't have a conversation. You make an ass. He would call you here the Messiah, the one hung from a tree, not a cross. So give me the definition or leave. Answer my question or go. Goodbye. Now you're stuck on dumb, brother, sister. So deliverance. What is this, some movie? Remember I said, brother, sisters, you could probably, everyone in here probably have a playlist of at least 500 to 1,000 songs in your head. Put gospel in here or I will moderate you right now. Everybody that's in here, either be quiet, don't talk, because he said if you add a jot or a tittle, you go to hell. I already gave you the definition of hell. It's not below your feet. Okay? You're idiots. That's not an insult. I'm not insulting you. If you have a problem with that, just go now. I won't argue with you. Father rebukes were equally yoked under this covenant. There is no pride that is heaven's. His favorite, his, right? The ones that rule us. Heaven is right here. It's the ruling class. The heavens declare the glory of Father, right? God. So, Kenny Rogers. Okay. What the hell does this have to do with it? Goodbye, Kenny Rogers. So, put some gospel in here, brothers, sisters, or leave. If you can't share gospel, if you can't share the light, and don't share a false gospel, because remember, if you add a jot or a tittle, that's the other gospel, right? Or thought, which is idolatry, which is pornea. You can go pull your chain somewhere else. Get out of my face. Revelation 9:11, angelos. Give me the definition of an angel, because angels don't come, there's never been anything come from above your head. Stop this crap over your head worship. That's Baal worship, sun worship. God's in the sky. That's exactly why he called his bride a whore in the book of Revelation. I am Pastor Revelation and will not allow you to defile his word. The word is agape. He said, if you love me, 2 John and 6, and there it's Yahukanan. There is no J, you idiot. Walk and follow in my commandments. Carry your cross daily. In Luke, he said, my disciples, follow after me. Matthew, take up your cross, deny yourself. That's idolatry. Remember, don't add or take away, or you'll go to hell. Even the smallest period, let me guess, you're living on that little dot, spinning through space in the third rock from the sun in the third dimension. You know, they hung them at 33 years old from a tree, not a cross. You can get out of my face. You can get out of my space. They used to think there was a goddess in heaven, you know, space. Where the hell does it say space? You're lost. So if you can't learn, he would call you an ass. You have an unwillingness like a goat just sitting there, don't want to move. MAGA, high priest of the Satan church. Peace is antichrist. That's right. Shalom. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction. How you like your maggots? Yeah, sudden destruction will come up. Nanu, Shazbot, Mork from Mork. Oh, Mr. Happy Pappy, huh? Leading these devil lives. Yeah, dragons. You knew I was a snake before you let me in. Then he let Joe Biden, remember? 2 cheeks to the same hole, 2 wings to the same dragon. So come in here and speaking like a dragon. Yeah, with your breath. It just stinks. Remember? Pneumonia. I can't breathe. Stand on the X. I come quickly. Revelation 3:11. Donald, Mr. Warp Speed, declared, you know, Mr. Space Farce. 3:11, he declared the corona crown virus. It's ridiculous, brothers and sisters. People are lost. Think they're spinning on a ball. Haven't you even looked at a heliocentric model? And it's just a model. You know, they got all their models. They got their redneck flat earth model. I know the earth is flat because when people leave town, they never come back. Then they got their ball model. It doesn't say anything. Where does that support anything that it doesn't? So if you're not aligned with your Chewbacca Jesus, whatever your Esau, Harry, Jesus, whatever, you got to tell me Chewbacca had some kind of threesome with Anakin Spacewalker. Now we got big feet walking around. Where's say big feet in here? Where do we got big feet? Alien is a word. You guys are sensational is what you are. You believe in fairy. That's a Celtic demon. Fairy tales. A demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies. That word was replaced with the word devil. You know, like the white devil and the red devil. Yeah, those are both devils. You think that's good and bad. Oh, yeah, right. You little spandex Jesus. You little leotarded red devil Jesus. You little pokey Jesus. Oh, remember, hey, poke, hey, it's a stick up. Let me see your decami. Everybody get their hands up, right? Yeah, decami. Oh, yeah, that's who you give your allegiance to. So, you give your allegiance to some other gospel, like he said. Now you're spinning on that jot, third rock dot. Must have blew it up with some NASA helium, right? NASA, the number one, never a straight answer. Remember the deceiver, like the adversary, cause one to wander. That's the word planet, wander. You don't live on a word, do you? Oh, I live on a word. Oh, alien. Oh, that's a word too. Get out of here. Get out of my space. Remember? 010101. These people are computer. Remember Operation Mockingbird? Too many years of sitting in front of the box. Remember? The Cabra. So they go walk, Mecca, like on Saturn. Remember the top of Saturn? Chronos, the time marker, people in a box, signs in a box, like signs in the stars, like Jupiter. There, remember this, the largest king. They gave it the king star. Well, wrong king, right? That's the king of Revelation. The seventh king that's being revealed. Remember, if you don't have a crown to set at the feet, oh look, there's crown, another crown. You're not going to receive your inheritance. You're going to hell. So you can leave the religion nonsense out of here, because I'll crush you with the word. The word does it on his own. Remember, rocks fall on us and hide us from the face of the word. Lord means master. So get out of here, you serpents. If you don't speak the words that are in this scriptures, where they took every word in the 12th century and used their dictionaries, lexicons, Old Testament Hebrew, Newish Jewish book, reflection of the new, just leave. You will not make it a second in here. Nobody hung from crosses. Here's your cross. Here's your pagan nonsense cross Jesus, okay? We'll give you a little imagery. So maybe you'll get your little blood pumping there, Nimrod. There's your Jesus, okay? Notice the tree at the bottom, the sun at the top. The sun was dying. They prayed at the equinox on 9/23 to try to slow the sun. This is paganism. This is Satanism. This is an orgy Jesus. So there you go. There's your Svasti space Jesus. They thought there was a god of heaven spinning in the Big Dipper around the North Star. Abide by the coronatine. I like that's a good one. All right, play on words. Father's a word, so careful. Etymology is everything. It is. Was that loot? Luda. All right, no. Can't get that E small. So evil. Okay. So it's true though, right? They put all the children in stay inside, stay safe, stay home, stay alive. They're doing it again in other countries. Now they're doing it over this oil. That's Christ. It means Christ. They're doing the Christ again, brothers, sisters. All these oil wars. Here we go. Remember, he said the eye is the lamp of the body. If it's filled with darkness, then the whole vessel, the whole lamp is filled with darkness. If the eye is filled with light, then the whole vessel, the whole lamp is filled with light, right? And they don't mix. Remember, like dark and light, oil and water. Truth to a lie. Remember, believe is an action word. You can't believe in Chewbacca Jesus or some, I come quickly, let no one take your crown, like the Corona 3:11. Remember, if you don't have a crown to sit at the feet, you're not going to receive your inheritance. That's right. At the wedding feast of the lambs. Remember, Father's the ram. He's going to take us to where Father's house is at. So, hey, I thought I'd come in here and see if anybody has any gospel. So far, not any gospel. That's okay. Like I said, these people got a playlist of thousands of songs in their head, but they don't have any gospel. So why does God say parents can kill their own children? That's Old Testament, Jordan. We're not under that covenant, remember? So when vengeance was claimed, he said, legends beside was something made that is and wasn't and still to come. That's right. Judgments. Hallelujah. Judge that shall be judged. The measure you pour out on others will be returned out on you. Freaking evil's got something going in here. Actually, somebody who actually knows about these eternal laws that have always been here since the foundation of the world. Well, what it was, Jordan, it was a pagan father required. Remember, he told Abraham, take your son Isaac up to the altar and sacrifice. Your father required sacrifice. They would sacrifice for better harvests. That's part of the Old Testament. Remember, Father did require blood sacrifice. He required the sacrifice of a lamb. Remember, he said, remember, there was a goat in the thicket, but that sufficed for that sacrifice. But that was part of the Old Testament. Father required, fee. You had to have 5 shekels and have a perfect sacrifice of a lamb and mark the head of your doorway. This is Passover, not Easter. There's no such thing as Easter. That doesn't exist. There's another, you know what I'm saying? We're not under the laws of Deuteronomy or flesh, so we don't need to worry about that, Jordan. I'm not going to answer Old Testament questions. We're not under the laws of flesh. Remember Paul's writings, the book of Colossians in the New Testament, the gospel, wrestle not against flesh and blood, the scribes, Deuteronomy, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, where it talks about marriage and yoking. You're further to my father. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Well, there's no such thing as Jew. So there wasn't. There is no J in the older New Testament. It was Jacob, remember, or like John, Yahukanan, but Jacob was Israel, and that's not a country. There is no country Israel. That's blasphemy. You're just let people make up all this crap, and I won't allow it in here. So I'll stop you in your tracks real quick. So we're not under, remember, Paul's writings, the scribes, because every Hebrew yod has frequency. It's a mathematical language. That's why he said, don't change it. If it doesn't add or take away, there's some math for you. So it did. How do you think the scribes knew what to write down? You guys are idiots. Most of you guys never even studied any Babel or tongues. No such thing as speaking in tongues. Nobody ever spoke in tongues. That's the word like this, but you don't ever, you know what I'm saying? So, again, let's go back. Paul's writings, the scribes obviously knew, because Hebrew is a mathematical language. It has frequency, resonance, value, because it's taken off the Torah, the toroidal field, which also creates each one of these layers in our dirt. Gee, it's like all of it. Father created all these things, huh? The strata, the ice core data can all be seen with push and pull, positive and negative, proton, electron, dark and light. Remember, those all created this darkness right here. The light was created from the darkness. Oh, there was darkness here. This is the adversary's playground. So I'd be tread lightly with your word, because Father is the word. He's not in the sky. Father didn't come from stars. That's Baal worship. Father created the stars. These people think there's gods, Julius, remember, and Augustus, all this Roman gods, and their calendar, all this 14th century. It's not 2026. So get the off this channel. I'm not here to get your subscription or a YouTube button. You want to help me out? There's links in the description. I'm setting up a true ministry, a physical, not like any other ministry anywhere. This is the of all channels. So if you can't give me the definition of what mother is, because you haven't read it. So let's go back to Paul's writings in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. Yeah, thanks to Paul. All of Paul's, Colossians, Thessalonians, Romans, Corinthians, all of Paul's writings, where he's talking about the Old Testament and these laws of flesh. Remember, because he hung his flesh on a tree, not a cross. Nobody once ever hung from a cross. You're an idiot. 2 and 14, what's written on stone. That's why I can have tattoos. It's not what goes in a man. It's what comes out of a man that defiles the people, because we're equally yoked. There is no pride heavens under this covenant. Not below, that's be less. So stop saying that stupid word. Stop blessing people. They thought when people sneeze, a portal that opened, and they would bless him because they thought there was a demon as a distributor of fortunes or lies to others. You're a demon. Don't bless people. Nobody's less or below anybody under this covenant, right? We're equally yoked. You don't sup with vipers. That's low energy. But you don't condemn a man. Father takes care of separating the wheat from the chaff. You treat everybody the same. Love thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. Push everybody to the narrow way. Most everybody you meet in your entire life is evil or nice. And the word nice means to be stupid, and they're nice and stupid. And when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Okay, remember this playground, little carnival circus show that you're this world stage they're orchestrating right in front of you? The dialectics, the words, the glossa. President 4 + 5 is 9. When you skip Joe Biden, remember, I was a snake when you let me in, then he let Joe Biden. 4 + 7 is 11. The king of Revelation, 9/11. Why do you think he's trying to make an arch of Trump? Remember the entrance to Satan's tower, 58-story tower, it was the Arch of Triumph, right? They're doing this by the scriptures, brothers, sisters. So let's go back to the book of Colossians 2:14. Once written on stone, remember he's making a 25-story statue, Al-Qaeda, the entrance to hell. Well, that's Al-Qaeda, if you study. 2:14, once written on stone, we're not under the laws of flesh, wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? No, 2:14, once written on stone tablets, the laws of flesh. You fulfilled all the laws of flesh, fee, fine, celebration, and ritual. Prophecy, the unblemished sacrificial lamb, even the very last prophecy to be fulfilled. The word prophet's teacher, okay, and father's creator, so there are no prophets. A prophet speak in one tongue, and anybody in their dialect, glossa, tongue could enter and overstand it. Do you know anybody like that? One tongue. Well, the gospel is universal, isn't it? Okay, moving on. So, Colossians 2:14, the laws of flesh were all fulfilled. Remember? You frowarded my father's agape. Now if you covet another man's wife, that is adultery, he said to the Pharisees. Remember? So the scribes, they pounded the laws into the rock, the tablets, like honor thy father, which is not your dad. Are you following any of this? Or you got TikTok rot brain, you can't concentrate for more than 30 seconds. Well, maybe like liposomal, right? Concentrated vitamin C, orange juice concentrate. The laws were written on stone tablets. Remember, there were requirements such as blood sacrifice, 5 shekels to the king, your head of your doorway, your address. Your father didn't love the Gentiles. If you were not related to the high priest of Aaron, the Levitical high priest of Levite, right? These 2 houses, you weren't even allowed into the temple. Father didn't love you. You could do whatever you want, eat whatever. You didn't have to rest. Father didn't love you. You were hellbound. You didn't get access to knowledge. He only visited 1 day a year behind the veil after the perfect sacrifice, remember? By the high priest of Aaron at the altar, wash their hands in the glassy sea, enter into the temple, pass the table of showbread, the altar incense, and the 7 candlesticks, which represent the 7 Pleiades, which are the 7 churches. Pass through the veil and put the blood over the Ark of the Covenant. Now let's go back to Colossians 2:14. Yeah, where the 2 cherubs were guarding the 10 commandments, honor thy father is not your dad, and honor thy mother is not your mom. If your dad and mom are Jezebels or vipers, depart from them. Your family is not your nieces, your aunts, your uncles. That's your family is going to be with who you're after death. So you better start focusing and concentrating on that. Afterlife insurance. I'm not talking about something for your kids. I'm talking about you. Nobody's going to be standing there holding your hand at judgments. Well, that's why you need that mediator to pay that price. That's right. He's got it in with a judge where one sin is death. Didn't matter Old Testament. I know I'm eternal being, like flipping over an hourglass. Speeds up and at a certain time slows down. That's that pinch, brothers, sisters. Theologos is what it's called. To pinch. So that's right. So let's go back to the word. Old Testament. Father required, fee, fine, war, sacrifice, ritual, 5 shekels to the king, blood at your doorway, post, or your firstborn, child, cow, sheep, pig, livestock, not just your kid. If your kid was 40, they were dead in the morning if you didn't pay the sacrifice. Remember, they'd sacrifice that perfect sacrifice at the glassy sea and bring it in and sprinkle it over the Ark of the Covenant. And they knew if you saw Father, because he was pure light, that you would die instantly. And they used to put like a noose around the anklet of the high priest of Aaron because they didn't want to go behind the veil, and they would pull him out if the sacrifice was not perfect. Father is perfect. Father is without blemish. Father is not in the sky. Father is pure light. Father is the creator. Father is the word. Undefiled. It's man. It's this flesh that defiles. Paul's writings, Ephesians 6:11. Are you writing any of this down? Wrestle not against flesh, the requirement of a flesh sacrifice. Somebody asks a question, careful, you're going to get the historical, scriptural, and biblical record. Bible means book, and the history is victor gets the spoils, the loser gets left out. Remember, doesn't get written in the box. Rejected text. That's right. How? Oh my! Jesus is Satan the Son God. There is no Jesus, but somebody actually might even have a sliver of what they're talking about. There is no J's, so there's no Jesus. That's satanic, which means the adversary or wander. You can wander out at here. There's no J in either of these books. It didn't exist until the 14th century. So there was no such thing as Jesus. Okay. You said anointing, that means Christ. Instead of saying Christ, that's what anointed. He was the Christ, right? But you use all these yods. Cosmos is an orderly arrangement, and he said even if there's a star in the firmament that's out of order at judgments, it will be chained. Oh, you might be sitting right next to a Hollywood star, huh? Oh, I come from the stars. Shut up. Father is the Word. You know what I'm saying? So he was the final sacrifice. It wasn't Jesus. It was the Hamashiach, and he didn't hang on a cross, okay? So I just want to try to get you lined out. You speak like a dragon, I'm going to correct you. If not, you're an ass and you can leave. So this isn't a religious channel. There's not one single rock establishment that I won't walk into in 10 minutes. They'll have me out there in the streets because I'll expose. The gospel's not there. I don't care about anything else. I only care about gospel. That's it. Share some gospel in here. And this is the gospel. Father sent his son to make that perfect sacrifice to fill all the fees, fines, sacrifices, rituals, correct? So let's go back to what it says, right? In the book of Colossians 2:14. Once written on stone tablets, because he fulfilled every single law of flesh. And do you know which law of flesh? Because now it's Hokadesh spirit. Remember Paul's writings? Spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's not above your head, brother, sister. Stop thinking you can go to the calendar. Taking Father's Shem, there doesn't say Lord. There does not say Lord. There was never, I have the scriptures right here. That is the word master, and you can't serve two, and you're serving your alien tongue. Yeah, we're not to use the calendar to pervert things, brothers, sisters, and that's what was done in the 14th century. They took the lunar calendar and combined it with their pagan calendar to give you this Greek Gregorian, which is known as the Gregorian. It's not 2026. He's not going to stand for this. What do you think he means when he says nobody will know the day or the hour of the return of the Hamashiach? Because you guys are perverts. You allow your calendar. It says it right in the scripture. The adversary will be able to change times. It happened back in the 14th century. This has been long. That's why I will not accept any Jesus nonsense in here. Study the word. These words are important to me. And he said, if you agape me, not phileo. Remember, phileo is like you like the rack on your wife, like you like that rack on your pick-em-up truck. Yeah, that's phileo. Remember, I'm not asking you, Peter, and he struggled with the things of the world, and that's what you're still struggling with. The world in your own translation. Remember, cosmos is not above your head. Cosmos is an orderly arrangement. Go read the book of Psalms, David's writing. So the firmament declares the handiwork. There will be signs, it says, in the stars in Matthew. Remember, in the stars. He talked about a sign of his coming. Remember, I'm the only one on this rock that has that, the Revelation 12 sign, a celestial firmament marker that he left 2,600 years ago, and he gave that to John at the island of Patmos, and as well, the Star of David, that hadn't happened in over 2,600 years either. I talked about David's writing. Remember, he was from the house of David. He sprang out of Judea. Father is the ram. That makes him the lamb. David declared him the Lamb of God. Father, the ram. Like the shofar, they blow the ram's horn. You sick or something? You got a cough drop? You need to got the Devoc, the COVID backwards. Ricola, get out of here. All right, little Fruit Loop or Fruit of the Loom or whatever horn you're blowing on. So the little horn, remember that? So okay, so let's go back to what Scripture says. It says, once written on stone tablets, brothers, sisters, is now blotted out as they put that perfect sacrifice over the Ark of the Covenant by the two cherubs, is now sprinkled with blood. And he paid with, remember, crown of thorns so deep they went into his skull, right? Beard, blood, they striped, they whipped him. Are you earning your stripes? He says, follow after me. Remember, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm not asking you to phileo me, Peter, like the rack on the truck or the rack on your wife. You know, deny Father 3 times because it was easier to do. I'm not asking you, Peter, if you phileo me. Do you agape me, Peter? Are you walking 2 John and 6? Do you love me? Remember? Are you taking up your cross? Are you letting them pervert your calendar and doing time worship? You know, remember that time marker right there when it conjuncted, just like, remember? Back in 1939, they formed the fake nation of Israel. Yes, they sure did. Israel's a man, not a nation. As soon as you get through that, your thick skull, you might figure it out. We left the age of deception, brothers, sisters, water. It's over. Welcome to Revelation. Welcome to judgments. Welcome to the apocalypse. It's here. You don't have to sit there and freak out. So, that's right. Many of you come in my Shem is what it says. It doesn't say name. It says Shem, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Shem meant authority, Agape, Torah. Remember all these markers in our dirt because of the compression. He's the one who puts us through the P.O.Box, through the press. So we fit through that straight gate. Narrow is the way. Narrow. It's not a narrow road. It's you start wide. Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate that leads to hell. He's got the keys to knowledge. Hell is no knowledge. Father is knowledge. Not in the sky. Father doesn't come from the stars. Father created the stars. It's okay. I don't want anybody to hear this one, love. Remember? Father doesn't either. He puts a restrainer on their ear. Like you're talking to the walls. My walls talk to me. See each board come from a different, somewhere in the state or valley, or notice that? The stars talk to me. I've been telling people that for years. Hell, I'm the only one with a Revelation 12 sign, literally the marker that he left. He said first he would come. They would be a sign. First he came in flesh. He said second there would be a sign in the stars of the second coming. Remember stars, sun and moon in Matthew? It talks about signs in the firmament. So you have to have a hearing ear. Father, the apocalypse, the word apocalypse is to lift or to remove, to pull the sky, to lift the scales of the eyes of his bride so they have a seeing eye to see. Seeing eye. You don't need 2 eyes, right? You need to declare 2 witnesses, but do you need 2 ears to hear? The eye is supposed to be single, remember? The eye is the lamp of the body. Are you red-eyed to go? He said, come quickly. Let no one take your crown. What? You have to have a crown, brothers and sisters. If you don't have a crown to sit at the feet of judgment at the final trump, you're not going to receive your inheritance. You're going to gnash teeth. You're not going anywhere. You'll raise, but you're not going anywhere. The raise is the spirit. Your body is, your flesh is temporary. Remember, you'll get a new body. And that new body does not include flesh because he took the flesh to be with Father. Father doesn't have flesh. Father's Hokadesh. Why do you think we have Shiloh? Remember, once written on stone tablets, is now sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb. It was blotted out and sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb on fleshy tables of our hearts. That's where it's at now. It used to be in a temple 1 day a year with the perfect sacrifice. Now he's with us where there are 2 or 3 gathered in my agape. There I'll be. He's here with you wherever you go. He never leaves us now. You fall off a cliff, he's there with you. Isn't that beautiful? If you don't get anything from what I've told you, if that doesn't shake you to your eternal core to know he's not above you, he sees what the whole world doesn't see. He sees your intentions. Those 2 thieves that'll steal your crown, the 2 witnesses that he said he'd send, there's one hanging right here on your face, right here on that cross, sitting there right in front of your face the whole time. He's not in the sky. The inner man. You know what I mean? They can't sin. Perfect. Paul said the inner man, he's blameless. Circumcise the flesh, spiritual circumcision. Cut it off. Die daily. Die to self, be born from above. Not again. Again is once. We're not to be born again, brothers and sisters. That's not what it says. It says be born from above. Put it at the top of your house and let it shine. Pride is to rise above others. That's Old Testament. Once written on stone tablets, is sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb. It's been blotted out. All laws of flesh, feed, fine, and ritual. Who fulfilled the covenant? The Hamashiach, the one who hung from a tree. Remember? Like it says in the book of Acts, when they took him down from the tree, they veiled his face. Remember? Mary found that neatly accordion style folded because that's how the master would leave his napkin if he was going to return. He wasn't going to, maybe he had a call, he's going to go hang out with one of his wenches or whatever, or if not, he'd wad up his napkin. And remember, the servant in the shadows be waiting for the master Lord. And she found that, declared that he had risen, he would return. That's his resurrection. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Everybody wore their stupid little face diapers, blue folded veils. So, brothers and sisters, what do you think I can't breathe is? That's what they did to a man. They'd stretch him back. That's a Roman torture. Their favorite way was to stretch a man on a tree. The Hamashiach did not hang from a cross, brothers and sisters. That's idolatry. Here's your cross. Here's your cross. Here's your cross, Jesus. Right here. I'm showing it to you right here. Remember, they thought there was a goddess of heaven spinning the Big Dipper around the North or Pole Star. They thought there was a goddess of heaven. And at the equinox, they thought the sun was dying. Remember, here's your yin-yang symbol. Let your yin-yang hang out. Whatever. Yin-yang twins. Light, equal day, equal night. Equal day, equal night. These have equal day, equal night. They thought the sun was dying, so they prayed to Saturn to try to slow the sun, right? And for a whole week, they had an orgy. They would marinate a man in beast, sex, beast, and woman. Remember? The king of the Yule. King of the Yule. They thought this is your Christmas wreath, okay? So this has been around for thousands. It's called the Feast of the Yule. Like throw the Yule, that's a baby lamb. A yew, log on the fire, yew, that's mocking the Messiah. Two people were telling me I was mocking people earlier. You're an idiot. Get away from me. Mocking, taking the Lord's name in vain is not following his agape. Vain means worthless, like it says in Jeremiah. Learn not the ways of the heathens and be not dismayed at the ways of the sides of the firmament, for the heathens are dismayed at them, their customs, their traditions. They're worshiping to their calendar. He's talking about this perversion of worshiping the sun and are vain. That means worthless. For one cut at the tree is, so who's the Hamashiach? It's the one they hung from a tree. Remember? The one that they hung from a tree. We know who he is. He was from the house of David. Remember? Nothing good could come of Nazareth. Remember, they wouldn't hung him from a tree. Couldn't hang a Roman citizen. So remember, he carried a yoke. Right? That yin. I just showed you what the yin yang symbol is. One agape. Love is agape. Remember? That's the word A-G-A-P-E. Find that defined in the book of Yehochanan, John, 2 John and 6. Okay? It means to walk and follow in his commandments. And he commands us to take up our cross. There's no cross. He didn't carry a cross. They nailed him to a yoke or a stock, like they nail people to the U.S. stock exchange. Remember, he was sold into labor, bonded. They bond people, merchandise them, and sell their labor to foreign companies. With their W-2 tax dollar, they kill Iranian school children. That's the beast, is the W-2 tax form. That's the beast system right there. Yes, it is. The Father said, let vengeance be mine. You can protect your house, and it's not eye for an eye anymore. You can protect yourself, but that's not Old Testament. You can't go outside your borders. Remember, you used to be able to sneak into somebody's house. If he killed your brother at night, at your brother, you go unalive his brother. But we're not under that covenant. So careful, brothers and sisters. They love imagery, and he warned about idolatry. He warned you. Idolatry is self-will. That's the word porneia in the Greek. Idolatria. Latria is to serve these two dirt loving. You love the dirt. He doesn't want you to love the dirt. He wants you to love the word. Anything you see of the dirt is idolatry, brothers and sisters. It is. It's distributors our fortunes of lies to self. He doesn't want you to serve your eyes. What you see, imagery, careful what you see, because the adversary likes to take everything pure and turn it upside down, doesn't he? That's why we must be as esteemed as the potter's clay, and right? Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, right? Oh, here we are. Tell me we're not here. Their hearts will be wax cold of these jots, yods, and tittles that are in this book. These scriptures. Now it's on our heart. If you knock, and I will come sup with you. Who do you think brought you here? I didn't bring you here. I don't want your subscription. You can kick rocks. Father's the rock. Go kick it, pound that until it turns into sand. Don't build your house on sinking sand. Let's go back in time. Kick rocks. We can do it all day if you'd like, but he's the Petra, remember? Rocks fall on us and hide us from the face of the Lord. You can't face the truth. You can't handle the truth, remember? That's your problem. So once written on stone tablets, brothers and sisters, I don't know what you're smoking. Remember? He's the Petra. It's sprinkled on our hearts. Asking you shall receive, right? Seeking you shall find. Not a job, not a house, not riches, not knowledge. So we're going to do a real quick. I want some participation in the chat. Hell is no knowledge. There is no hell below your feet. Nobody dies and goes to hell. The final shofar has not sounded. Heaven is knowledge. Heaven is knowledge. Hell is no knowledge. Revelation 9:11, that he has the key to the wide gate. The seventh king of Revelation that I just showed you up there on the board, that's your worship of the equinox calendar. Apollyon, the sun god birthed in the middle of the winter. They call him the Masse, Jesus Christ. Well, it's debt slavery, one Agape, because remember, you're sold into it in merchandise with no walls. Isn't that great? They didn't have to put up any bars, invisible bars. There'll be millimeter domes, millimeter waves, invisible prisons, like they locked up during World War II. American citizens, they'll lock everybody up this time. Well, it don't matter if you're from here or not. Remember, if you're too poor. Yeah, and if then you disagree, they'll send you to Venezuela because they cleared out all those prisons. By executive order, he did this all day one, Mr. Warp Speed. Remember, 4 + 7 is 11? President Snake, you know I was a snake before you let me in, then he let Joe Biden. If you skip Joe Biden, 4 + 7 is 11. President Blind 11, selected to the corporation by the Fortune 500 companies, Electoral College. So there you go. So let's go back to what this says, brothers and sisters. The beast is going to work in the system. Okay? Heaven is not above your head. That's pride. They were his favorite. He had a pride, Old Testament. That was Aaron and Levite. Everybody else was a Gentile. He didn't love you. You could go to hell. Remember? He didn't have to follow the dietary laws. He didn't have to follow the Sabbatical laws, the laws of Levite. You can't eat pork, no swine, no scaleless, has to chew the cud, split hoof, all these dietary laws. Let the land lie fallow, rest on the seventh day. All these, that only applied to 2 houses. Father didn't love everybody back then. He don't love everybody now. That is blasphemy. You go around spreading that. You are absolutely taking his word and perverting what he did. You're ripping him down from the tree and just making up your own law. Okay? So remember, he fulfilled all flesh, black, white, brown, red, and yellow, man and woman. Remember, Mary declared that he had risen. Women were not even allowed to speak in the church. A woman was supposed to be subservient to the man. But only when it came to the teaching of Father. It didn't mean go get me a beer like she was some female dog, bitch. That's not what it meant. It meant you treat a woman's body like you treat your own. like you treat the church, is what it said, so that when you went off to work for extended periods of time in war at that day, when you left the household, she wouldn't teach this children these Baphomet worship. So women were supposed to be subservient for a reason. They were left alone with the children. Father put a great responsibility on them when he went away. That's the subservience. It didn't mean anything else. It didn't apply. And just so you know, we're equally yoked. And women were not allowed even to the temple and speak. Now Mary had declared, as that neatly folded mask, that the Hamashiach, right, with that stone rolled back, right, that he had risen. And that mask she found, brothers and sisters, is the resurrection of his return. He left that mask over 2,600 years for his bride, to show he would return. You know how hard it was as a military veteran to sit there and watch people's rights trampled on wearing a veil, a face diaper, all neatly folded blue mask. Everybody's walking around with these blue masks. I'm like, my PTSD's like, what the hell? Do you guys ever read any scripture? Do you ever study any scriptural, biblical, or historical record? You can't just read the words, brothers and sisters. They spoke in idioms. There's a difference between an idiot and an idiom, okay? An idiot is somebody who has never seen it or heard it. Don't be mad at somebody because they're an idiot. Show them to the narrow way. You're supposed to do that to everybody. Love thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. Treat everybody the same, right? The same word as ignoramus or ignorant. If somebody's ignorant, has never heard it or seen it. So 2 times and leave them alone. That's what this ministry is going to show you. And I don't do it. The word does it. I have nothing to do with this. All glory to the Redeemer. The one comes back and picks up what he already bought and paid. He paid the bride price. We are his purchased possession. It was already chosen from the foundation of the world. You'll send yourself to hell, brothers and sisters. Yes, you will. By self-will, by idolatry, you may have had your name written in that book, but remember, blotted out, the writings, the laws of stone, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, 613 statutes, commandments, blotted out. I'll blot your name out, even if you have a period. I ain't playing, he said, remember? At a tittle, these are the smallest of the punctuation in the Old Testament, Hebrew text, right? A thought is idolatry. Pornea, I already gave you the definition. Idolatria, latria is to serve your eyes, to serve the things you see, and distribute lies to yourself. A demon is distributor fortune lies to others. That's why he doesn't. That's why the very first people he deals with is the false teachers. Oh, the very first ones to get thrown into. No knowledge. Any knowledge you had of the word, you're going to get stripped of it. That's hell. Been there before. Remember, I came here with no knowledge. I don't want to go back. Remember darkness? Didn't you come from the dark? Came and through the waters, through your mother's canal, through the Pisces. As we all came, you had to birth a flesh vessel through the Vesica Pisces. That's your fish symbol. Something smells a little fishy. Yeah, that's the matrix. You came from the dark. That's the woman's. It's supposed to, there's a reason why it, yes, exactly. We're all birthed through this water canal. Not one of us. We're not from some other star, but we're all eternal, brother, sister. Don't ever forget that. It's just like this hourglass right here. This is your life. Over and over. That's right. Under veil and over again. And notice this is the word theolobos, brothers and sisters. This is theolobo right here. I'm gonna say what this is. See this? See this? This is theolobo. It means to be pinched from both sides. This is the word theolobo. And he said, or hados, in the same narrow way. This is, I'm giving you 2 Greek words. So you have to speak Greek. It was an old Jewish book. You don't have to speak fluent Greek. I didn't say that at all. Just yes, there's another Greek word I'm giving you. That means a key number. Okay. This is the word theolobo. To be pushed by your friends and your family, and everybody pushes you and down, so you get narrower, narrower, narrower. This is the word theolobos. Theolobos. That means to be pinched. Pinched. So you'll fit, right? Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate that leads to hell. because you're not narrowing. Narrow. So this is the same thing. Less of self and more of Christ. He grows inside you, but the only way that he is going to grow is if you cut off, deny yourself daily, take up yourself daily, follow after me. This has been repeated since time. There is no such thing as thousand and millennia, brothers, sisters. This is their north and south God trying to tell you that you die. You don't die, brothers, sisters. You are an eternal being. Do you not see that? Horizo, I am the separator of the dark, the flesh. I enchain them in sin, and I pull them to my light from above. You don't die, brothers and sisters. They're telling you you die like sands in an hourglass. So are the days of our lives. No, they're not. You're an eternal being. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, do you see how fast those went? Remember, he said, I want to show you something about Scripture. This is I'm an eternal being, so I can relate to this. I don't ever die. I just do this over and over and over again. Yeah, I didn't see your question there, Jordan. You'll have to ask me again. Brothers, sisters, this is your life. And I know, right, when life gets like this, when he pinches us like this, he says in Scripture, if I didn't shorten the days, remember, during this time, and we're here. This is the eternal symbol of the number 8, correct? That's eternity, a never-ending time. Now watch how fast it starts going. See that? If I didn't shorten the days, no flesh would survive. So careful of symbology. The devil is very wise. He does, remember, you must be as esteemed as the potter's clay, turn their works upside down. Father is horizo. Father separates. This north and south is this. Don't fall that you don't die. You're born from above, brothers, sisters. Remember? He separates this flesh. You don't die, you die to flesh and be born from above. This is Father. I am the equator. At the end, I will pour out a just measure over here. It's still, what measure you pour out over here will be returned over here, correct? It's the same amount of sands in the glass. He is the just measure that is poured out. The cup of wrath, these bowls will be poured out on the nations who fornicate with this beast. Remember? That's why they hung him from a tree, brothers, sisters. It's mocking the Messiah, hanging him from hanging from a cross. Nobody hung from crosses. Those are the two thieves you've been lied to. Remember, they stretch you back and nail your feet, right? You were nailed to a yoke. That represents the the 666. Those are the Hebrew symbol for 6, or the stakes. They staked him to a yoke or a stock, like I said. So who is the Hamashiach? The Hamashiach is the one they hung from a tree. That is the Messiah. He said, I am. Remember, he said to Peter, be comforted, Peter, I am. He said, I am the Aleph. I am the beginning. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. I come back and pick up my bride. I am the end. Right? I am the Hados. I am the narrow way. Narrow way. He said, before Abraham was, I am. So we know who he is, right? He is the Father in flesh, separate, not 3 in 1. That's their 3 in 1 transgender God. That's right, Baphomet, with breast and horns. Father has horns. That's why they like to mirror and mock, right? So remember, va is that symbol of the nails they put in him, because they would cleat your feet and nail one foot over the top of the other. That's that third nail on that Monster Energy drink. Unleash the beast. Remember? That's what the can says. Va. Those are the nails they put in the Messiah when they stretched you back. It was a stretcher machine. The masters of torture were the Romans. They loved torture. Their favorite way was to crucify a man so he couldn't breathe. And that's why they did their corona ritual on you and masked you and veiled you. Like George Floyd. Remember, they took him out of the car like Eric Carpenter selling cigarettes. crushed him. I can't breathe. I can't breathe ritual. They do the old face diaper ritual with you. You guys walk around. You know when you have a satanic occult party, they'll walk around with mask on, right? Didn't you see the Tom Cruise movie or whatever when he went in there to the party or whatever? I don't watch TV, so I threw my TV away in the 90s, but I remember seeing that as an older movie. But they all go in there and they get dressed up. Little masquerade ritual, like you guys stand on the XXX. Remember, I thought it was 25 feet. Remember they were talking about this bug's going to get you, and it was 15 feet, and then they just put tape on 6, 6, 6, XXX. There's those nails that they put in the Messiah's hands, stretched him back. And then what they would do to your brothers, sisters, is when it came to, they couldn't leave a Roman citizen hanging on the Sabbath, they would take you down, right? And because you couldn't hang a Roman citizen, okay? But they would take, and if the birds didn't peck your eyes, because they're always the first to go, they're soft, they love it. It's like, it's animals. They eat but your rear end or your eyeballs, they go into some cavity. It's nature, brothers, sisters. It's Father Nature and Father Nature and Father Time. Okay, Father Nature and Father Time. So, and if the birds like earwax, if they didn't pick your ears, the lingua, you eat cow tongue. Well, this ain't cow, but if they didn't eat you and you were still somehow, because the only way you could breathe, where they would nail your feet and nail you back and raise you up. He formed the shape of a cross. He never hung from a cross and didn't carry a cross. He carried a yoke or a stock. Like I said, they nail you to the U.S. Stock Exchange. You know, the bull on Wall Street. So that's right. This is all a play on your idiocracy. So they'd stretch you back, and the only way you could breathe, brothers and sisters, because it would stretch your lungs so far back and compress your lungs, is to raise up on those that had a nail. You had 3 nails in your hands and stretch you back so you couldn't breathe. Now, you could either just get totally wore out so you couldn't raise up anymore and you get no more oxygen in your lungs and you're gone. But if they came there and you were still alive, and for some ungodly reason, your tongue was gone, your eyes were gone, they already had worked in your brain, but somehow your body was still figuring out just survival mode, how to go up and down, they come to you and they would break your legs, brothers, sisters, so you couldn't breathe anymore. I can't breathe, huh? I can't breathe, huh? You see what they did? He said I come quickly. On March 11th, they declared the coronavirus, brothers, sisters. 3:11, Revelation 3:11. He said, I come quickly, let no one take your crown. You think Mr. Warp Speed did that on accident? March 11th, he declared the virus. You see what I'm saying? They're mocking people's ignorance, brothers, sisters. People who don't know, and they're all a victim of it. It just is what it is, brothers, sisters. I'm not trying to change anybody. A word is what changes a man. That's the word rebuke, and a word rebukes. You can't rebuke anybody. I rebuke you in the name of Lucifer. Sex Pistol Cracker Baphomet Jesus. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm married to the word. You gotta share some gospel. So, I don't know who you are, but my love is the word. So, I love the word, man. So, he said he would come like a thief in the night. Do not go to sleep. Remember, the enemy came and sowed seeds while you were sleeping. Pearls, not samples, semen samples. Some guys in the Navy over here. Watch out. So, okay. Are you guys understanding this? Are you understanding this? Father is the separator, brothers, sisters. Time is an illusion. You don't die. I'm an eternal being. I'll never die. I die and I'm born from above daily. I die to self daily. I'm in a spiritual entity having a temporary meat suit experience. It's only I made it through the matrix, not in the matrix. You guys are been sold on the idea. When was the last time I went to a doctor? The hell are you trying to tell me to go to a doctor for? You know, the bringer of the disease and the cure of the disease is Satan, Jack, Mr. Jack off, Mr. Me off, twice, double pump chump. Hey, we got Jack in here. He's like a 2-pump chump. Better watch it, ladies. He ain't gonna. I got to go like bang, bang, gorilla. I got it going on like Donkey Kong into the break of dawn. Hi, my girl. Hi, my little girl. All right, Juniper, you want to come say hi? This is our channel, kitty. Oh. Well, that's why I'm talking about is you brought up to doctor, you brought up demons. That's kind of my point. Jack, do you have any idea of any words that come out of your face? Jack, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think I can take a couple words and prove that you're an idiot. So you're talking about doctors again. Demons and doctors. What do doctors and demons have to do with anything? No, it's your fault. You don't know the definition of what the hell you're saying. Give me the definition of demon, just like Bob said. So stop talking. Give definitions here or get the hell out of here because you don't know what you're talking about. You already made an idiot or an ass of yourself, probably. So, well, let's see if you can learn anything. So, learn me something. Okay, jack off or double pump chump, whatever your name is. So, you brought a demon's dummy. Brother, sister, is this person making any sense at all? Are you getting anything out of Mr. Me off here? Define the word demon. It's the word demonion. It doesn't say demon. I have it right here in my lap. What do you know? See, brothers, sisters, this is an ass. For any of those who's being a witness, this is an ass. Everything has a definition, you idiot. Get away from me. So you have to define the word idiot, jack off. Well, whatever. Jack on, jack off, whatever it's one you are, like a light switch. Remember, a two-pump chump. That's all you got going. So give everybody the definition of idiot. Oh, there's no definite. Give everybody the definition of idiot. Like a light switch, brothers, sisters. You can't, remember? You lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You look at a person of knowledge. That's the word bis. But you can't make them think. So let's see if this person has any knowledge at all of what they're talking about, or if they're just a demon. Demonion is a distributor of fortunes or lies to others. Can't even define any words that come out of their face. So, Jack, you're a little out of your league there. I think you already had your little two-pump chump, your little semen samples on the floor there. So, or in something prophylactic you left it in your sleeve, stocking, whatever your, hub you're pulling on. So, give us the definition of the word idiot right now or leave. Because you've already made an ass of yourself. I said, I'm an idiot. So go ahead. Some of us are trying to ask legitimate questions. What's your question, Jordan? I'm going to have to feed my puppies here soon, am I? What time is it? Oh, no, we're good. The chickens are probably still, they're out there probably still running. They might be out running around. So I'm on a farm. I'll have to do farm duties in a moment here. The animals don't wait. So they need to be taken care of daily. So animal husbandry, are demons real? That's my question. And my question you was to define the word idiot. Get out of here, Jack. You're an ass and you have a deaf ear. So you've been screwed like every woman I got on her back. So goodbye, Jack. And I didn't get a two-pump chump, remember? I said Donkey Kong, like Silverback, bang, bang, like Bruno Mars, gorilla. So 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so bad. All right, never mind. So get out of here, Jack. You're an idiot. You can't listen to anybody. It's like put your name at the top of the paper. You can even do that. So don't say anything else in here. If you do, I'll moderate you. I won't condemn you. Nobody's ever been permanently banned from the channel. We don't ban hammer anybody. So you have to come back with some knowledge. So you don't have it. Grow up. Do the 7 things you're supposed to be doing in Scripture to be matured. This is an adult stream, not for children. So somebody's kid. So, but act like an adult next time you come in here. And if I ask you a question, answer the question or don't ask me any questions. So what's your question there, Jordan? So Jordan, like hang time, like that stinks, kind of like Jack. It got cold. What got cold? That's a strange statement. All right, brothers, sisters, thanks for coming in. don't want your subscription, kick rocks. This ministry is not a religion. Hell is not below your feet. Heaven's not above your head. Hell is the word no knowledge. Heaven is the word knowledge. Heaven is Father is knowledge. Father is the word. You don't die and go to the sky. So heaven is here and hell is right here. If you don't agree with that, please, I'm being nice, leave. You're a viper. Get away from me. You stink. Like Michael Jordan, you know, Marvin the Martian. It's got more hang time. Get it? Martian? What the hell is a Martian? Alien is a word. Alien is a word. Aliens don't take up any matter, physical space, place, because alien is a word meaning foreign. Now you've taken the meaning and turned it into something physical. So please leave. I don't agree with your idiocracy. You're an idiot. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. You've never taken any time. You do what everybody is in this rock. You worship the calendar. It's not 2026. If you fill out a W-2, would you please leave now? You killed Iranian children and the teachers too at that school, and you will pay for that at judgments. I'm not condemning you. It's called righteous judgment under this covenant. So, and Ukrainian women and men, the whole generation unalive with your W-2 tax dollar. So go to work, you know. Oh, wait, it's Saturday. You're not working on Saturday. Why not? You're not working for the beast. Are you growing any tomato plants? Do you even try to make your own power? I'm not saying that you can't have power. I'm actually trying to put power on this property after 10 years so I can have a freeze dryer, because I've been eating up all my freeze dried food for years now. Whatever, did it for years. So do you even try to grow a tomato plant? No, you just feed the beast system. So you are broad in the path and wide that leads to knowledge. No knowledge. You don't have any knowledge of where you're going, do you? Where you're headed. You're already in hell. You made it. Don't worry about dying and going to hell. Okay, so let's ask the question. Heaven is right here, because that's the ruling class, and earth is the ruled. So when people die, why do people think that there's the last Trump, the final Trump? I didn't get a question. So he said, some ask the legitimate questions I'm asking. Didn't see any questions. So, brothers, sisters, you don't die and go to the sky. What the hell is up with that? That's Baphomet worship, brothers, sisters. You're worshiping stars, Ishtar, Semiramis. You're worshiping the calendar. So another way to worship the calendar is go to work. Are you telling me don't work? Yeah, I'm telling you don't go fill out a W-2. Go become your own boss. Stick it to the man. This is May Day. Remember, they're having that thing where you're not supposed to buy stuff today or whatever. You vote with your dollar. Where you spend it or where you don't spend it, do not partake. So if everybody just went and grew, I mean, less than 1% of the U.S. populace grows any kind of food, garden, eggs from chickens or quail or ducks, anything. What a weak generation. Coddled, never missed a meal their whole life, let alone going a whole day without eating. Never fasted, never had to be without, never would even enter or understand what it's like to have their gut rot. So, nope, never let the body process and do what it's naturally supposed to do anyway. So, and I'm not giving any dietary advice. Okay, I'm not some kind of ND, but I've studied it for a lot of years. So, why do people think there's people above your head? Oh, there's people. Where's heaven? They'll point here. Where's hell? They'll point here. And guess where it's at? Right here. So put a 1 in the chat if you understand, overstand, or understand. If not, just leave. Just leave. Why the hell are you in here? What are you doing? I don't want you here. This is my family, and I don't, with vipers. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. One of you in here, that's a bad apple, like leaven. Leaven is the whole love. It's going to upset the whole apple cart. I don't want you in here. So you can go hang out with some religious channel, because I am the farthest from religious. And if you did something religious, you'd have to do it daily, every day. That's what it says in the book of Matthew, take up your cross daily. Luke, take up your cross, right? Matthew, again, there's always two witnesses. It declares that sister chapter to edify you, so you know that this is, seeking you shall find, asking you shall receive, knocking at it makes it the contract. So deny yourself daily, take up your cross daily, follow after me daily. So if you did something religiously, you do it every day, not just sit down one day a week so your friends see you go to some building and say, I'm a Christian. The only time you care about the homeless is on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Otherwise, you don't care. You don't help anybody out. You don't help another brother out. You do it so you can be seen. Oh, you want a label. I'm a Christian. I'm a Protestant. I'm a Presbyterian. I'm a Baptist. I'm a Catholic. You're all Satanist. He doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. Remember, the body is a temple. Use it. You got two of them right on the side of your head there, remember? Let no one take your crown. Brothers, sisters, people are already there. Robert, thanks for your answer. Like I said, I'm not sure what's got. Well, there's the rooster. So why are you guys in here? You just trying to glean? You can. I don't care if you stay in here and don't say a word. You don't ever have to say a word. You don't ever have to contribute a single dime. But comments is what makes this section what it is. Makes this channel. I don't have any demon nations either. So you can't. Harsmith. Man, I think these random names that you guys have sometimes are a little hard to pronounce. So, religious channels are filthy. So, religion, he doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. Remember, he said that the Most High, and he always declares two witnesses, brothers, sisters. If you go through Scripture, that's why I tattoo my hands with that Most High, because I'm not under a physical law. It's not what goes in the man. It's what comes out of the people, because we're equally coveted. Okay? Under this, the Most High does not dwell. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hand. So I'm an atheist. No, you're satanic. You're the adversary. You're antichrist. You're not atheist. Either with Christ, and it doesn't even say Christ in here, by the way. We'll just use your stupid little pagan terms. It's a pagan term. It comes out of paganism, or you're antichrist. So don't worry about it. Hey, go subscribe to Stoner Connection. He's one of my Canadian dicks up there to the north. Go subscribe to Stoner Connection, his channel. He always talk about cannabis and how to build, grow hydro buckets and doing all kinds of. Go help support his channel. He's Zabrina's from Canada, Alliance from Canada. We got a huge following from Canada, but that's right. What is today? Today is just another day. So, Mayday, Mayday. Hello, Mayday, Mayday. Man down, man down. Pan down. We've got bush. So, I do a little Revenge of the Nerds. I apologize. So, all right. I think I'm going to get up here in a minute, though, and feed my puppy and feed my, I've got birds out here. I'm on a farm. So, go support Canadian Pothead Connection. So, most people that I've ever met, I remember my son coming to me, I think he was 11 years old, and he said to me, Dad, he said, how come when I talk to these atheists, they know the Scripture better than most Christians? The Christians won't talk to me, Dad. When I try to talk to him about what we learn, he's inside of us and he's not in the sky. They don't want to listen to me. When I tell them the heart is filled with wicked, they're like, no, God loves me. He loves everybody. My son knew this, and he'd just go share this, and he'd come to me and he said, Dad, why do atheists know more about Scripture? I said, because, son, they figured out he doesn't dwell in a temple made by hands. But they're going to hell too, son. Well, what do you mean, Dad? Well, remember, if you deny me in front of your friends and your family, I'll deny you in front of Father. So atheists are hell-bound. So don't worry, hell's not below your feet. Hell's just knowledge. So you're just gnat's teeth to the little season. So most people are idiots, though. Remember, they can't define anything. So daily reminder, the Holy Bible is fictional, literally Jewish fairy tales for Gentiles. Look at this idiot. Doesn't even know what they're talking about. You're an idiot. Get out of here. HH, Heil Hitler, with your HH. I'm on to you, dumbass. Get out of here, child. So there is no such thing as J. So grow up, HH. Go bother some other channel that actually these people, know what they're talking. Go eat your goyim, slop, child. Get away from me. And just come in and spam the chat. Look at this. This won't even allow this person, their sisters, to say what they're, because they're such swine. YouTube won't even let you see their comment. That's how much of a slime ball they are. There's no J, so there is no Jew. Get out of here, HH. Here's your HH. We'll give you a little imagery so you can see your HH. There's your HH. Get away from me. There's your Jesus. Get away from me. So, some people are so lost. Freaking lost. Freaking idiots. Like I said, there's no J. Remember, it was Jacob, if you're going to use the J, that he loved, and he called Israel. Israel's not a country, brothers, sisters. Put a 1 in a chat if you can get that. Let me hold on this person out here. They just saying the same thing. They're stuck on dumb. They are. So, but okay, moving on. Call it whatever you want. No, I'm calling you vipers, which are. So Israel was Jacob, brothers, sisters. Israel's not a country. When it talks about Israel that he loves in the book of Revelation, it's not talking about that place in the desert. And when it was, well, no, Jacob wasn't the evil brother. It was Esau, remember? So, well, Jacob was quite the handful in the flesh. He was, but he wasn't like Esau faltered. He was lukewarm. Remember, and he stole his brother's inheritance, Nimrod, Jesus Christ. That's his name. The one birthed on December 25th. It's Moloch. I can 100% nail that down by begottens. So you're an idiot. So don't know your scriptural record. Yep, Esau was wishy-washy. He stole his brother's inheritance. And it's all about an inheritance, brothers. Jacob he loved. He said that. Remember, he so loved Jacob. He called him Israel. He gave him the inheritance. And he hated Esau before either were ever born or done anything. Yep, he already knew what they were going to do. Isn't that great? It's beautiful. The Greek word is prognosko, brothers, sisters. You have to study the word, not be some watered-down lollipop religious idiot. So religion will make you watered down. So we get people in the meat here. HD fats, not for high definitions, for high desert. So, not over Iran and Operation Midnight Hammer. So how's that great again feeling, huh? Is this great again? Is this what great again? Gas is 509 where I live. America! Golf, right? So that's right. Wishy-washy. So what's under the beanie? These nuts. How about that? So get out of here, idiot. Josh, go away from me, child. The love of Lucifer, which never was ever written in text even one single time. Your shorthand is Pig Latin. This love of Lucifer has got to go. There's no such thing as Lucifer, child. Get away from me, idiot. It's not. I'm going to put it out there. Why do people with that LOL nonsense? I don't know. I just got a thing for that. I always have. Why do you love Lucifer? So, laughing out loud. That's not what it means. You're laughing at somebody. You're mocking somebody. So, it's got to get. Yeah, okay. That's what it is. Looking at it, and there's no Lucifer. It wasn't even written. No, Jesus is not the Lord. Doesn't say Jesus or doesn't say Lord. I have the scriptures right here next to me. You'll never find the word Jesus written one single time because the letter J didn't exist. And you'll not find the word Lord. That doesn't exist in the Old or New Testament. You write like a dragon. You speak like Leviathan in the garden. So you're right, though. It's got to get. Who said that? John is right. It says sorrows. It's get worse till they start paying attention and be too late because they get rocked to sleep, John. That's actually the word Yehochanan. Remember, John, because there's no J's. It's Judea. Remember? So God have mercy on you. God is a title. There is no such thing. You're an idiot. Get away from me. That guy. You say you speak every. I have the scriptures right sitting right here. We just discussed this, and you say words because in the book of Revelation, I am Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa! It doesn't say these words that you speak, and he said, don't add or take away. That Hebrew word is froward, and you're perverting Father's word. So don't come in here, you pervert. Get away from me. This guy's a pervert. Check his IP address for kitty. So birthing pains. There we go. Sorrows. I'll come like a thief in the night. These people get rocked to sleep. Like a woman sits with her child like a baby in a rocking chair. Well, if a woman has ever had a child, she knows there's that crowning moment, but it doesn't start out that way, does it? Starts out suddenly like a thief, and it just pulls back like a lullaby. You got it. You got it. These people are already rocked to sleep. We're the calm before the storm right now, brothers, sisters. We are literally in that pullback right now. You don't think we already seen our first wave? What the hell was COVID? The fuck out of here. Wave 1. Wave 2 is Iran. Here we go. Now it's pulling back. Get ready. They're going to hit. Why do you think they keep putting more troops over there? They got 100,000 probably plus troops over there sitting in Kuwait. They just changed the draft auto enrollment this year. They made the enlistment age from 26 to 42. Or it was at 34. I think it was to 42. You're going to get drafted. Where do you think we go when we die? Right here. Right here. Right here. You don't leave this rock. You don't go when it says new heaven. Heaven's right here. Hell's right here. You don't go to the sky. 42. So, brothers, sisters, why? Why do you think they do that? Because they're getting ready to go to war with Iran. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that, everybody's waiting for World War III. Like it never says one world religion, one world currency, right? Or one world order. It doesn't say that. Never says that, not even one time. Not even one time, brothers, sisters. We've already entered the 3rd World War. We're already there. So put a 1 in the chat if you think we're at war. Because war doesn't decide who's right, it decides who's left. There's never been a war. I'm a United States military veteran. I'm a military police. I think I know a little bit about war. Military intelligence, snipers, Cab Scouts, first one in the battle, prisoners of war, last one to leave. I know war. Yeah. And this war, never been a war outside this country, started with a single bomb. They start with embargoes like the Second World War, right? They didn't call World War I until the Second World War, brothers, sisters. They called it the Great War, and here we are again. So this is a time we should be coming together and not wrestle not against your brother and sister right now, brothers, sisters. Leave people alone. If they don't see this, and this is like getting a freebie, and nothing is free because everything comes with a price. The store is still open, right? They still have red, blue, green, orange, and yellow, right? All the flavors of the rainbow. That they could take one away and shove those shelves together and you'd never notice it. If you don't eat green, right? You would notice it was gone. That's what's already happening. I can see it in the store shelves, the way they move things around. I remember going to the store when I was a kid. There were 3 or 4 flats of canned vegetables and soups. Now they're like 1. And there was stuff up top, a lot of it, man. And there was stuff in the back, not the just-in-time delivery system. Is this the new season of Love on the Spectrum? What the hell is that? So things are going to get a lot worse, brothers, sisters. Gas is going to go a lot higher. Food is going to get a lot higher. Fertilizer, we don't have natural gas. We can't make fertilizer. We're not making food. Can't make fertilizer. It's just going to grow less food. I don't care if it's crap food or not. It's just less goyim slop out there on the market for people to pay to poison themselves with. Boxed bag or canned poison, corn syrup, riboflavin, maltodextrin, monosodium gluten, preservatives, keeping you alive, right? That's what I used to say when I was younger. I know there's much crap in there, but it's much preservatives. I'll live forever, I'll eat. It was stupid. The mentality I had back then was insane. Eating the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. Look what's happening to my body right now. Freaking body's starting to come apart, man, whether I like it or not. So, too many years wearing a rucksack, too much, blasted in the face with a grenade didn't help, tear gassed, and I don't know, too much, man, too much hard on my body. So I have to feed my animals, guys. I got to take a pause here for the cause and feed my animals. So chickens need fed. Puppy needs fed. So, all right, guys, I'm going to take a pause. If you want to support the ministry, I don't know what that was. Somebody gave me something when they first came in here on those things. So I'm going to take a pause. We'll come back in. And are you trying to say 1-star rating that he didn't love Jacob and call him Israel? Because Israel is a man and not a country. So you want the meaning. I'm not going to sit there and I know Jacob is evil. Get out of here, you idiot. Why would he call him Israel and give him the inheritance then? Are you telling me Esau? Remember, he hated Jacob, right? No, he loved Jacob. Don't you ever read scripture? You can define his definition, but don't you remember? Didn't he give him the inheritance and called him Israel? Like Saul, he called Paul Abram, or he called Abraham. Did he love Esau? He stole his brother's inheritance, right? Before either were born or done anything on this rock. Why would he give him the inheritance if he was evil? You don't make any sense, 1-star. You don't think you know anything about stars either. The firmament, the calendar above your head. It's not 2026. So there is no J. So it wasn't Jacob anyways. I want to start defining things. You make more sense than me. Does scripture say that he loved Jacob and called him Israel and gave him the inheritance? Yes or no? Make more sense. You don't make any sense like America. Scripture is wrong. You're as wrong as 2 little boys in a closet. You know that? Underage, doing something they shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's you. Check this guy's IP address for Kitty. You're sick. You know that? Get away from me. You're going to mock Father. He loved Jacob. Remember the 12 tribes of, remember Jacob? So answer my question or get out of here because you act like a child. Answer my question, okay? Because these people are into this goyim slop. They're into all this crap. I see where he's going. Kitty touch. Jews, the whole, who do you think wrote the Quran? Catholics, kitty touch much, right? Muhammad was a PDF file. That's why you're an idiot. They're ASD. Before you open up your face and pie hole, why don't you think about what you say? So, okay? So, you're telling me he picked wrong. God made a mistake. Brothers, look at this, brothers and sisters. This person is saying that Father made a mistake by giving Jacob, who he loved and called him Israel, not some place in the desert, although it was against the Great Sea called the Mediterranean Sea, that Father made a mistake. So are you telling me because Esau, he did go after God, but he was lukewarm. And he killed his brother, Jesus Christ, the one birthed on December 25th. His name was Moloch, the tree god. Remember? Kronos, 3 kids in the fire, eat your kids. Yeah, tree god. So go ahead and tell everybody, you already said that Father made a mistake, correct? So I'm not asking about Isaac. You're an idiot. You know that, Star? You can't even follow simple directions. I'm going to ask you one more time, and then you're not ever going to be able to come in here unless you can actually just share gospel, period. Your only thing that you can do is share gospel. You're not going to talk about scriptural, historical, biblical records. You're all twisting stuff and you got it all wrong. And you already said Father made a mistake. So are you telling me that his brother Esau, he stole his and he hated Esau? Are you telling me that Esau, he should have loved Esau and hated Jacob because he hated Esau and he loved Jacob? So let's see if you can even concentrate or answer my question, or if you just have TikTok rot brain. TikTok rock brain. So did Jacob, you said father made a mistake. He should have shared the inheritance 50-50. Don't ever come back here. Please, Father, don't ever send this idiot into my channel ever again. You create all things, everything not written and everything that ever will be. Please don't send this back ever again. You're an idiot. Don't come back to this channel. You're not welcome here. You speak like a dragon. You said Father makes a mistake. Father never made a single mistake. Father is without blemish. He is pure. The word is Hokadesh, right? No, Ruach. Pure, holy. Stop saying that Father makes mistakes. You're an idiot. So can you believe this, brothers and sisters? Somebody just came in here and said Father made a mistake. That's pretty, come judgments. I don't think I'd want to be standing there because he ain't going to have no mediator. So the sins of the world are not these kind of sins. So you're mocking Father if you think Father making a mistake. So people come in here and think I'm mocking people or mocking the Messiah, who was never, his Shem was not Jesus because there was no J. That's not mocking. Mocking him is calling him Jesus. That's what mocking the Messiah would be, because there was no J. So you're like making it, this guy's walking down the street. You're like, hey, his name is Dave. And you're like, hey, what's up, zebra? What's up, zebra? Is he going to turn around and talk to you? He's not going to even know you had anything to do with him. So just go ahead, keep calling him Jesus or God. And it doesn't even matter which yodes that you try to fight over, because I'm not fighting over letters. You don't even have an inner overstanding of this new covenant, this New Testament, let alone going around talking about like one word that I see 99% of the people I ever talk to use incorrectly. Angel. You don't know what an angel is, so don't ever say the word angel. You don't know what an angel is. Give me the definition of an angel. In Revelation 9:11, the king of the abyss, it says they have an angel, right? An angel, the king of the abyss, which is hell, which is no knowledge. Hell is not below your feet. So people don't use the word angel correctly. So don't ever use the word angel. You don't know what an angel is. Give me the definition, and then you won't even need to use that word anymore, because the definition is what an angel is. Define it. And then you'll stop using these stupid words that you think you know what they are, because you won't ever define anything. So play stupid games and you'll get stupid prizes. You want to know why? Because you're just too damn nice. The word nice means to be stupid. So don't come in here and play any stupid games, because you'll end up leaving with some stupid prizes. So we won't condemn you. But all right, guys, I have to feed my birds. I have to don't shut the I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. So yeah, no, they're doing a good job. So I'm gonna have to get myself something to eat too. Let's get the puppies some breakfast. Oh my goodness, some breakfast for the animals. And then it'll give you guys a little bit of an update too, what's going on out here in the ministry. We're doing kicking tail and taking names, or whatever you want to call it. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Oh, hey, we got to use it, guys. If you guys talk like swine, you'll be 86ed out of here. How about that? That's the term we're going to use for the day. There you go. Good puppy, best puppy. that I love. We'll go get the birds. You already got breakfast at 3 o'clock, didn't you, girl? Yes, you did. All right, ladies, I'm a-coming. Missing a bird. I don't know where it's at. All right, my apologies. I got a bird missing out there. I don't know why. I have 17, but I only count 16 with my rooster. So, I don't know. Sometimes some won't go back in the coop. Maybe it's out, still nesting somewhere out. They wander because they're free range birds, so they can move. There's good 20 acres here for them to move around. They don't use that hole, but I was trying to find it. I don't know where it's at. I don't see any signs of it, like, something happened to it. I didn't hear any, so must be out there somewhere walking around. So yeah, strange. I do a count, I count them every day. So hi, puppy, puppy, puppy. Oh, it's cold out there, puppy. It's cold out there. That don't have a fire going, huh? We let the fire burn out last night, and it's cold out there. It's probably, I bet you feels like it's in the 20s. Feels like it's in the 20s. So, all right. Well, hey, just again, an update, guys. I did speak with the engineering department from the electric company, and I did get an appointment for the day after that I have to go in for my MRI. So, well, that's like next week, I think, right? The 6th is a Thursday, I believe. I'm not sure what day that is, but I'll get an idea on the electric, on what he gave me the better price again. So if the engineers quote the price, that's what they're going to do. I mean, they know. So we'll see. He can come out here and change it on me. So maybe not. Maybe we'll get, my nose started running a little bit. Maybe we'll get, that rate, and that will put me Wednesday. Okay. That'll probably put me about $1,500 short, I think, somewhere. So I think today I'm not going to stay on here another half an hour or something. I'm going to get off here, and I need to start listing some more things for sale. I don't know if I'm going to climb under that truck today. I'll see. This left side of me has just been, that sciatic nerve's been pinching every time I've kind of been nursing it, but we'll see if I can get under there today, and maybe I can get that starter off of that truck, and that might cover what I'm short, but I don't know. It's just in a really odd spot. It's kind of up inside of there, and you got to kind of lean up. And I remember when I was looking at it and figured out that it was bad, that it's just in a really awkward spot for me to have to lean with my back injury down real low, and I lean up in there with the wrench. I'm not looking forward to it. So, but I'm going to try to do that today. I've got some more things to list on the internet, get some more things up and sold here. And I want to have the money to do this. I don't want to pause. I don't want to have to wait. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to have that money by the 6th. I don't need it by the 6th because I do think they're just coming out to do the plans. But by the 6th, if they say, okay, are you ready to do this? I want to say, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do this ASAP. See what I'm saying? I don't want to pause on it. I don't want to wait. So, especially if they're like, hey, it's $2,300, because that's what he said. That's the check that I'd have to write to Mid-State Electric. If it's that much, that would, like I said, I mean, that would just, man, I am so close, guys. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot more. I have gravel to buy and P.O.Box to buy and some other, I'm probably going to have to rent a tamper I sold the one that I had, or, a jumping jack to do the foundation, but I'm close. So I'm super stoked. I put that homesteaders looking for helpers. Guys, I don't know what it is, man. It's like, I didn't get that one person. I was looking for that 35-year-old guy who's got some tools, is young, motivated. I got a grip load of likes on that ad yesterday, but all I got was a bunch of ladies wanting a husband. I'm not looking for a wife. I'm not looking for a date. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting these ladies. I'm retired and I have all my own money, and I just want to come hang out. And no, you don't. You want to try to get my pants. I don't want people coming out here. I need people to work, dig fences and dig septic with me. I'll dig too, but I don't want you trying to dig and get in my pants. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a little deflating yesterday, because and some of them seem to have some strong abilities, and I don't want to say that they couldn't, but And I'm not trying to be, like that, but I need a good, strong young man out here, a good hand. And I'm not saying that ladies can't work. And I have talked, it did mention some, hey, I'm looking for a work labor. I'm looking for a work trade. I'm looking, trying to veer away from this, uh, but maybe Father will have somebody post, on today, and I'll get another somebody, you know, uh, yeah, I need a homesteader and a helper, not a wife, not a date. That somebody wants to come out here, and I mean, it's flattering. It's cute and it's nice, and it feels good that somebody pay attention. But I'm not looking for that. I don't want somebody to come out here and set roots, and and me work them the whole time, and them over there just thinking about me the whole time. Because I remember how they came off from the beginning. Um, but I appreciate the up forward with them, because it allows me not to have any, you know, I can see where they're coming from. So, and I got, like I said, like six really, I mean, a couple of these ladies are beautiful. Just took really good care of themselves and look like they're doing real well. But I don't need that right now. It's not what I'm looking for. I need somebody who can build fences and stay in their own lane. And when I ask them for help, I don't need any distractions right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be distracted by that. You know what I'm saying? So it was, but um, I was really, after all day, I got a lot of responses, and that seemed to be a majority of the response was ladies in their 50s and 60s, about my age. Like I said, some of them had some strong skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Thanks for coming in. Appreciate your time. So maybe Father will send me. Like I said, I need that man who's got a, work trailer, got a pickup truck, and got some of his own tools. Wants, hey, yeah, I get to build that building out, and I could build another building by myself for my own. Yeah, build that one out. Help me finish. I'll help you. We'll figure out how to do the interior for you, and then, you know, and that way he's over there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he's out looking, for doing things, and not, sitting over there and me just feeling a little awkward, like, you know, hope I don't say something you're weird or something and come off like, lead somebody on or something like that. You know what I mean? So, but there was a couple of ladies. No, I do. I appreciate, like, okay, you know, you need somebody to work. I said, yeah, I need workers. It's a work trade position. So this isn't homesteaders looking for singles, this is homesteaders looking for helpers. So, I was, like I said, I went all day and I was so disappointed that I just didn't get that. I don't know. Does that sound right, Sabrina? I need some guy in his late 20s, early 30s, maybe had a construction job at one point in time, said, I'm starting to serve tables or something now. I want to do something, or he's a computer tech, so he can do a little editing or something too, but still knows how to read a tape measure, still got tools, or, maybe even a jack of all trades, somebody like that too. But somebody who's coming here to work, you know, and wants a place to, build off of. And, because I don't want any money from anybody. I think that's, a couple of those ladies, I think that's what they were trying to offer me, is to be sugar mamas, like that one lady, like, I have everything I need, uh, I'm all retired. I bought, got plenty of money at home, like, no, I appreciate that you got money, but, you come here to work, I just don't think you say, and I'm not saying, what I'm saying, that somebody who has money wouldn't come here and be hungry and want to work. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like they just want to come out here and kind of have a vacation. You know what I mean? To sit out here and be chill, and that's fine. If they did the 30 hours a week that I asked them to, they could sit out here and do nothing. That's totally cool because I put that in their thing. But, you know, so gosh, why won't Father send me the right person, man? I need another hand out here. You know what I mean? I need somebody to help me. So, but good news. we got a hold of again, I sent off yesterday. I got the tax assessors, for the lot, the value and the back taxes on it. I got the motorhome wards division. I sent out the paperwork to the state. That got sent out. Had to send it out with a money order. Uh, got a hold of the engineering department. They called me. The guy that the engineer is going to come out. He gave me, the news that the lady gave me, and that's why I'm just not going to. I don't want to count on that $2,300, brother sisters. The minute I think it's going to be $2,300, it'll change. So um, I'm just preparing for 23 or 56. Maybe it won't cost me 8. I'm thinking it probably might not cost 8. I think it's going to end up costing more like 5. So that's going to put me down a considerable amount more, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll get it figured out. I've come this far. Like I said, I think I probably got at least 100,000 in this right now, not including the storm shelter. That's a whole separate project, but we're close. I'm not going to let $2,000 or $3,000 get in the way of getting this project done. So I have what left of assets. I'll sell them for the ministry, and I can start all over. I've done it multiple times in my life. I had to start from pretty much scratch. And hey, if this ministry gets taken care of and paid off, we've got power, septic, plenty of water storage, thousands of gallons. We're set out here, man. I'll be feeling like, it'd be different. Like I said, if I had some flushing toilets out here and whatnot, do you think I could have some guests out here, from time to time? And I think somebody would come visit. But it's a whole different when you go into a place with no flushing toilets, So I'll get there though. Like I said, I have some things to buy, some more gravel and things like that, and probably some more P.O.Box. But other than the power bill that they're going to want to pay to put in the can and run the power and hook up my meter, I don't think there's going to be a lot of extra costs. I have to obviously spend some more money on the house over there, but I think I have all but one window now. Windows are $100 at least a window. Those windows are $500 windows that I bought. More than that, new, obviously, but there's another $500 say for windows. I paid more than $100 or something, but I only have one more window to buy. I've got like every window. I would have. I don't know why I didn't mark that window down in my little, book that I have, and that's why I didn't. I would have probably picked up one and would have found one by now. So it's the kitchen window and the entrance. So um, I'll find one for that. So almost have all the windows. I went and bought flooring the other day. I bought some really nice wood long tile, the big longer tiles that look like wood grain with all the, so that'll look real nice. Yeah, we're getting so close, man. We're getting so freaking close. So it's just come down to funding at this point and some digging, probably more than anything. I have a lot of work to do on the house there, but I'm not going to be in a hurry to do that. I have time to do the remodel on it. I'm just going to pace myself on that and just do whatever I can do. So that's what I said. I get somebody else out here, you know, get going on some projects and stuff. It'll give me a little bit, little more inspiration. Not that I don't need a boss. I've got all this done out here without a boss, because I'm the boss. But yeah, we're real close to. Said I can't get the county to give me the permitting yet because they need to know that I own the home. So I've got to get that single wide in my name. So that's what I've been working on. As soon as that's done, I can get the permitting from the county. And there's another probably $2,500 right there, plus that they're going to want for permitting for the electric, for the power, to get the address, to do the mobile home placement, it's almost $3,000. So that's going to tap me. That's going to be the last of what I have from what I sold my retirement and the precious metals off for. But hey, Freaking, that's so close. It's a couple thousand short, 2,000, 3,000 short, man. Good deal. I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I don't have them anymore. I wouldn't even be able to sell them right now for the price that I got for them. So it was good. It's okay. Um, I'm glad that I did. It was a good time to sell them. Could I have gotten more for them? Sure, but it's hard to pick a top. So nobody picks tops. So I came in here and told you to take profit in this ministry. You know what I'm saying? Um, I said, this is the time. It's not wrong to take profits. This guy, here it is. Sabrina was here. Pull that metal now. Pull profits. Remember, I was coming in here when metal was at 116, going, pull your profit now. This is fake. This isn't a natural market. This run up is going straight up. What goes up comes, the faster it goes up, the faster it comes down. It went from 116 to 62. Nailed it. So, nobody got paid no $100 for metal, even when it was 116. You still had to pay $130 online for it. Nobody got no $100. So I'm thankful that I got in and got out where I did. Some things that really didn't make any profit on, and that's okay because I had some pretty premium stuff that I'd bought kind of later. I was just trying to make sure I didn't waste any money that I'd had, and held it up in that and was able to recover about what I had in it. Some took a little bit loss, and some I gained. So right across the board, I did okay. I pulled a little bit of profit, and look what I've been able to do. I've been able to get this property here where we're gone through a hearing, conditional use permitting, getting, bought the house, right? I bought a whole nother house, everything that's out here. It's just I'm looking back at it now going, man, I gotten a lot. Like, there's been a lot done in a short period of time. Uh, yep. Yep. It's better to sell it in increments like that too. Never sell your whole stack, pull profit when you can, and reinvest when it goes back down. That you sit in something the whole time and you never pull a profit, you're not making anything. Even if something went up to $5,000 and you never sold it and you bought it at $5, did you ever pull profit? It's like you never even had it. Oh, I had it, but I didn't do anything with it. Oh, okay, well, that's nice. A little shiny piece of dirt to look at. You know, it's not wrong to take take something off the table. And so we were not giving any economic advice, but boy, I was hitting it hard during that time. I'm trying to tell you guys that I even went over and told Kevin. I knew it was going down. I just had that gut feeling. I went over and talked to Kevin. I said, Kevin, you know, I know you don't have as much as a lot of people, but you have some. This would be the time to pull profit. You got in on some of these, you know, and now look at where they're at. This isn't, and yeah, that's what you use it. That's what it's for. Spend it like money, and you don't because it's. But so, um, heck yeah, guys. Thank you, Father. If I would have put it in dollars, guys, it wouldn't be worth what it was. If I'd have just held on to the dollars, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have had the value it just loses all its purchasing power over time. Groceries are more expensive, gas is more expensive, diesel's more expensive, cars are everything's more expensive. So it held its value for me. It maintained, the purchasing power. So thank you, Father. If I would have gotten it a little bit higher, I probably would need the extra 2,000 right now. I might have made another couple thousand in profit, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people do that a lot, Sabrina, when they, especially through estates and they find something, they go, oh, they find out something. People do that. So, so on the Tuesday's the 5th? Tuesday's the 5th? Is Tuesday the 5th? You said the 5th was Wednesday? That can't be. It's the 1st, right? 2nd is Monday. 3rd is Tuesday, Wednesday. What? I'm off. My days are off. How come my calendar is off here? I don't know. We're getting close though. So how's Tuesday the 5th? It's Saturday, isn't it? Is it Saturday? Saturday the 1st, May 1st? Saturday, May 1st. It's Saturday, right? It's not Friday, is it? Oh, wait, it is Friday. No, it's not Friday. Maybe it's Friday. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm one day off. I can't remember if it's Thursday or Friday. It's part of being in the country, man. So is today Friday? Well, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So today is Friday, isn't it? Why did I think it was Saturday? No, today's Saturday. It's got to be Saturday. That's simple math. Why am I off a day here? So, okay, it's Friday. That's why I'm off. That's why I'm off. It's Friday. I was thinking it was Saturday. I thought it was Saturday. So, okay. So, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Wednesday, they'll be out here to tell me where the power needs to go, guys. So that's one of the biggest days we're going to have out here too. You know what I'm saying? Man, it'd be so nice if if he came here and said, okay, yeah, we'll stall that power pole for the $2,300. That's so. Got to figure out a way to come up with that money. Like I said, I got to have to make that happen. That gives me how many days? So today's the 1st. 5 days, 4 or 5 days. We'll see what we can do in 4 or 5 days, guys. We'll see. Anything's possible with Father. So I have some things. Like I said, I'll probably list a generator for sale. I don't want to, but I should. I'd like to keep that as a backup, but I bought 2 of them. Know that I'd probably have to sell one of them. So probably sell one of those. I might lower the price of that chipper. I really want to keep the chipper. I want to keep it. I want to actually told you I want to use it to grind sagebrush and to use it for the composting toilets. So, but I need the money right now. I got to have the money first. So that's the way it works in my life. Sometimes things have to go on the chopping block because, you know, I call it that or whatever. Put it up. Assets go on the chopping block so I can make it to the next, to the next month. So, and I've got the land payment for the other 20 coming up here in a couple weeks too. So yeah, a little, like I said, maybe the truck. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the truck either, so I shouldn't bank on that. So it's got $1,000 worth of tires on it. If anything else, I'll just put it up for the price of the tires. Why somebody wouldn't go buy it for that? It's literally has brand new tires with the Les Schwab paperwork in the glove box, $975 for tires or whatever. They're nice brand new tires. So if I have to dump it, I will. So we'll make it. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. We'll figure out how to um, get this last chunk. Like I said, probably 2 or 3 thousand. I think I'm going to be able to have all this done, man. I just pulled that off. How do we do that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Probably the same way a $250,000 storm shelter on the back of the property. How did I pull that off? Kind of like I did this one. Just kept going and kept biting it off. Little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit. Next thing bam! Look at whoa! Look at all that got done there. So that's where I'm at right now. Now I have a tremendous amount of work to do, but when I look at all what was done already in the short period of time, I mean, I've already been through the hearing. I've already got the approval. I've got the electric inspection coming. I have to dig the holes for the septic, but I filed the paperwork to take ownership of the mobile home. There's just been all the septic was bought, um, everything but one window, right? I mean, there's just tile. I bought tile. Um, drain, I have electric conduit. That stuff's $50 a stick. That's 200 feet. Wow, so much done. So exciting day here coming up this week. I am just not looking forward to the day before that day. They'll go in and sitting in an MRI. Oh my God. I hope that don't wreck me, guys. I'll probably be all right, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to take something away from me. So, but I have to go do it. I have to go do it. I can't refuse medical attention. I've got to get myself taken care of this time. I got to get myself taken care of, guys. I don't want to go down and not be able to continue. How am I going to travel? I mean, I could travel, but I don't want limitations when I travel. I need to take care of myself. So I at least get up and down and move off a bus, a train. I don't know if I'll ever fly in an airplane ever again, but um, I think I've done all my air travel, but I may. We'll see in the future. I just got to be able to leave the country and the state first, right? So can't even leave the state, let alone or in the country right now. So um, yeah, what an exciting time coming up. I'm just stoked to have this all done, and hopefully this all get done before things progressively get worse in America. I mean, we could get limited again. We could have some kind of drone EMP or something. Some kind of nefarious. Anything could happen, and all this could be go on pause for a while. So that's another reason why I would like to get this done on the first part of the summer, because I think it's going to get more busy. And I have talked with several people out here that are dealing with this now, and they said there's a lot more. There's a lot of people coming out here. I just went up to town to where a place where they make like copies, like Kinko's or whatever. It's not. It's a little. They do a lot of different stuff there. I think they do bill pay, but she said there are a lot of people coming in doing exactly what it is, that I'm doing right now. And it's that time of year. It's not spring. This is when people know they need to do it. So it's going to get it, because once people start, man, it kind of starts like a wildfire. So I do feel as if it's just going to be a madhouse out here. Just as far as building, it won't be like this as a country town, but if you need to build this will be all booked up. That I need an inspection for the septic. That might take me a month, uh, you know, or two to get somebody out here, on the inspection on that. Might, because that's a different, they get busy. They do this whole county, it's the second largest county. So that's what I don't want to run into. I don't want to run into, holy crap, these people can't come out here for 2 months and I've got this all opened up or, ready to go. And I don't have, I don't want to be digging in the heat of this summer too. I don't want to dig at all. I don't want to dig right now. It literally crushes my back with this compression fracture in my vertebrae. Every time I take a shovel, I feel that in my back. It does, right in that, I feel it. I've got a bad fracture. It's compression fracture. It crushed my back. So um, every time I stick that shovel down and pull it out of the dirt, that pain just goes right through my, sometimes my whole body, but I don't have any choice. That's why I had to stop digging. I'm like, I'm not going to keep digging. You know what I'm saying? Um, if that's not where the electric's going to be. And I just looked, man, I remeasured it. I dug way too far back. So, well, I don't care. I dug like 10, 15, maybe 20 feet too far. So I don't know. Maybe they'll give me the extra 20 feet or something to get it a little bit closer, but you have to pay for it. I don't want anything for free, but you know what I'm saying? Um, but I can't be doing any digging. If all of the lines are going to go over there, then the last thing I want to do is be wasting my time like I just did. So maybe, like I said, the guy give me an extra 20 feet. I'll pay for it, to get it over just a little bit closer to the property. Whatever it is, it probably, I don't know what they charge a foot. So, but if not, you know what I'm saying? Um, we'll just go wherever it goes, put it at that 150-foot mark and call it good and run the power from there. So I think as long as it's away from the road and it's nowhere anybody's going to run into it or hit it for the main pole, it's fine. Doesn't even matter where it's at, so to speak, as long as it's not in the middle of the driveway. It should be okay sitting off the driveway. That's kind of where it's at. It's just right off the side of the drive right now. So exciting times, guys. Super stoked for this. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get up and make some eggs real quick. I'll eat that and I'll probably finish this stream here about another 10 or 15 minutes. We'll call this one a stream. Oh, I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna get done today, but I've forgotten it's Friday. For some reason I was thinking it was Saturday. Saturday night. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Woo! All right, let's get some eggs. I love eggs. Where's that big container of eggs? Oh, there it is. Damn, I got probably 150 eggs right now. Probably got 150 eggs. 150. Go make me some jalapenos and some onions and some eggs. Some eggs. Gotta eat, keep eating eggs, keep eating the eggs. I wish I had some eggs. I wish somebody was here to help me eat some of these eggs. I got too many flipping eggs. Too many eggs. Too many eggs. Alright, let's put some garlic. A little bit of garlic. Put some of that gravy on there too, huh? Yeah. Throw your hands in the air. Waving like you just don't care. Some jalapenos. Jalapeno. Where is that plate? That plate? Shakalaka. Nice gravy. Nice gravy. Gravy. Where she went? I don't know where she went. Where is that bird? Where did the bird go? Bird is word, bird. Bird is word. Alright, let's put the gravy on there. All right, we got some farm fresh eggs here with some gravy. Some country gravy. Oh, would you look onto her with jalapeno? Jalapeno. Oh, outstanding. Man, it's cold. Wow, that's some good eggs. Those are fresh. Fresh eggs with some country gravy and jalapenos. That's some pretty good stuff there. Look at the old jalapenos. Man, why did I think it was Saturday? Saturn Day. That's outstanding because that means that went in the mail yesterday. I sent out that paperwork for the manufactured home. So for some reason I thought it was Friday yesterday. So that means it'll be traveling today. I don't think it'll make it to Salem. Probably take a few days to come from Salem or get to Salem from here. I mean, you could drive to Salem in the same day, but in the mail. So So maybe they'll get that by next week, and maybe next week I'll hear back from them, and I'll be able to take ownership of that house, as far as on a title. Once I have it titled in my name, then I can pull the conditional, or I have the conditional use permit, I can pull the electric permit and the septic permit, and then I can get the placement permit for the house and pay to get my address. I got to pay $300 to get my address out here. Hey, girl. You going outside or you going to get babies? Going to get some more babies? So I have to take ownership of the house before the county will give me the ability to permit to get an address. I have to have, show ownership of the house. So, yeah, that's the way it is, isn't it? Van Galen, Hank Van Galen. So we bitch when it's too cold, and then we bitch when it's too hot. Oh, it's so hot out. Oh, it's so cold. Never. What do you want it to be? 70 and sunny all the time? Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I was trying to get to Ecuador, but Father put the brakes on me. Yeah, New England's got some pretty bipolar weather in New England for sure. It changes a lot there. Now, I live in the desert, so it does, it's nice in the desert because it does get cool at night. It doesn't stay 80 degrees, You can open your windows up and air your house to be cold in the morning. Then by the end of the day, it's warmed up. But we get some pretty good temperature swings in the desert. We can go from, 20 degrees to 90 degrees in the same day, a 70-degree difference in temperature. If you don't like the weather, don't worry about it. It's bipolar. It'll change in just a moment. Hold on. Oh. Get it? Bipolar? Oh. That was a play on words. A little etymology for you. Oh, man. Yep. Just wait a minute. Oh, you want to go out there and see little girl? You want to go outside? You all done warming up in here in the house? You're the bestest little girl I ever did have. Go find my other bird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're still missing a bird. There's a bird missing still. Still got a bird missing. Yeah, we've had really good weather in this desert. It was a pretty mild winter. I mean, I burn a lot of firewood, but I like to keep the cabin warm, and then I still don't have the windows repaired from when all the windows were shot out. You know what I'm saying? So that lets a lot of cold air come through here. They're all taped up, but this still tape isn't, double pane tape. What? So, last bite here. Oh, that's so good. Well, I have I have a slew of things to do on the house. I really haven't, made that a huge priority because I might have to move it, and I could work on it. I'm not saying that I can't, but I'm just trying to pace myself. I don't want to overdo it. And I have gotten, I got 3/4 of the building painted. I did get some of the interior painted. I've, gotten a lot of cleaned a lot of, been doing a lot of cleaning in there, and had to do on the living room area. Well, I'll be putting the studio at. There was a lot of repair work that needed to be done to the drywall. Was coming apart and falling out. That one window, it just trashed all the drywall below the window there. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably try to today figure out a design for see if I want to add some of that wood floor to the kitchen area, or if I'm just gonna do all. I was about making the kitchen all wood, out of that wood tile, because I don't think and it would save me to make sure I have enough tile to put in the bathroom. And it's slate. It's not tile, it's slate. I mean, it is tile, but it's slate. And then put that in the living room. I think I want to put that in the living room. I kind of like that slate tile. It's really pretty. It's kind of like a blue-green. Definitely not an easy tile to find not slate color. That's not an easy color to find in slate. So drove a long way to get it years ago. Used it. It's the kitchen's done in there, the bathroom in here, the stand-up shower in there. That's got a lot of that tile, and the Rusty Dragon's got it. So we're spreading it all over, spreading out the tile. So. Exciting stuff, guys. All right, well, let's wrap this up. We're at about 3 hours here, so let's call that a stream. Thanks to everybody who came in, supports the ministry through comments. It's what makes the ministry what it is. Without the comment section, it's just me, and it's not a ministry. There's no fellowship. If I'll just make channel content then, right? So appreciate you joining the streams, guys. Your comments are always appreciated. If you want to support the ministry, hit the thumbs up button. Do that. That's a great way. We're actually saying that now because we're supposed to share. So if we were supposed to share the light, we should have been doing that a while ago. But you can share the stream. You can hit the thumbs up button. Neither of those cost you any of your dollars or cents, and they just have to usually let your fingers do the walking, right? So if you do want to support the ministry, you're watching the restream, there's links in the description to Cash App and PayPal. So just like everybody else, I've got bills, so don't want you to pay mine. If you want to support the ministry, I take it and put it towards the ministry and show you where all your dollars are going. So we're making huge progress out here, so thanks for being a part of it. And again, you don't have to tithe monetary to be a part of this ministry. So, and you're more than welcome to come and enjoy all the amenities of the physical ministry. If you ever do make it out this way, we do have some cabin locations that you could dry camp in, and beautiful nights, dark sky sanctuary out here. So it's a great place to come visit if you're ever in this area. So thanks again. Appreciate your time. And thank you, Sabrina. Much agape. Thank you, Father. And we'll come back and potentially for the end of the day, we'll get some more done. Do some more gospel. So remember, heaven's right here, and so is hell. Right here. Okay? The heart's filled with wickedness. Use your heads, brothers and sisters. The body is the temple. Let no one take your crown. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.